I didn't keep it real, so I'm going to keep it real
you something
today.
You ain't telling us.
Look, I got to keep it real.
All right,
man.
what's your score, champ?
I got 41-20, West Virginia.
Vic?
I got 35-27 West V.
Oh, that's a close game. Takeo?
27-24 under
Okay.
West Virginia.
I'm going to go 37-17 West Virginia. So it is a clean sweep.
Clean sweep, West V.
Dion, prove us wrong. The festivities have already begun in West Virginia. Let's listen in on the other side. J.B. Long, Mike Golick Jr., and Jared Greenberg.
Well, as we await the bus, welcome everyone to Morgantown. And on days like this, you can certainly understand why they say West Virginia is almost heaven, especially with their Mountaineers coming off a road-ranked win to snap their 5-game losing streak. And now Colorado, after back-to-back defeats, is looking to do more of the same as we take you to this freshman quarterback showdown. Good afternoon and welcome to Big 12 football on TNT Sports, presented by Modelo. It is the mountain matchup between CU and West Virginia. And with my friend and colleague Mike Golick Jr., I am J.B. Long. Hope you're having a great weekend. Thank you for spending part of it with us. And about a month ago, we were with these Mountaineers when they turned the keys over to a freshman quarterback in Scotty Fox. Did not go great in his debut, but it's been remarkable to see the turnaround.
They planted the seeds, and now they're getting to watch some of the bloom. You go back to last week, the buildup towards what he put on tape in the upset win against Houston. On the ground, 2 rushing touchdowns, ties a record for a true freshman at West Virginia. The arm talent that Rich Rodriguez raved about, next level, is how he described it. But to me, JB, it's the decision-making ability in tight quarters and in fast decisions that make him the perfect quarterback for this West Virginia offense.
Yeah, Rich Rod, very comfortable saying this is an audition to be the quarterback of 2026. Now, as for Colorado, after 2 disappointing defeats, it's their turn. It's the Juju era.
And we saw the Juju era get started at the end of last week. A blowout loss to Arizona, but great second half extended reps for a young quarterback who we know is a Gatorade Player of the Year in high school and can certainly move around. And by time we saw Caden Salter do that as the starter, but they believe Juju Lewis's ability under fire to distribute and make decisions, especially against the blitzes he'll see early and often from West Virginia, the reason why he's the starter today.
The head coaches in this one, household names across college football. We know that Rich Rodriguez calls his own plays on offense. Who's calling them for prime today? For more on that, here's the third member of our team, Jared Greenberg.
Well, JB, certainly an unusual situation. I can confirm the report that now former head coach in the NFL, Pat Shurmur, will remain the Colorado offensive coordinator in name and title only. Brett Bartolone, who has been the team's tight end coach, will be the one calling plays. He will also be the one communicating with Juju Lewis in the coach-to-player communication system in Lewis's helmet. Pat Shurmur said it is his job to set an example for these players that he can handle change, and he will do the job to his very best of ability. We asked Coach Prime about this situation and how the players are responding to it. He said it is what it is, and the players don't have much of a response, fellas.
All right, Jared, thank you very much. And we will not have to wait much longer, Mike, because on the road, Colorado won the toss and said the Buffs want the football.
No better way to get your young quarterback started than to give him the ball right after the opening kickoff. It's going to be fascinating to watch with all the changes that Jared mentioned, how they go about getting him some easy wins early to try and get him started on the right foot here on the road.
A bunch of rain yesterday and into last night. The first snow of the season is expected as early as Monday, but today we've got 60-degree temperatures and sunny skies in Morgantown, West Virginia. Welcome once again. Milan Pushkar Stadium, everyone, 50,000 strong for the third meeting between the Mountaineers and the Buffs, and their first as Big 12 members. Kickoff specialist Nate Flower with 6 touchbacks on 8 tries last week. They'll send it to Quentin Gibson, who brings it out and is crunched at the 20. And here comes the 10th true freshman to start at quarterback in Colorado history. The 6'1", 5-star freshman from Georgia, 18 years of age, and the highest rated quarterback to ever sign with Colorado.
And you know, with a freshman quarterback, mistakes are going to come, those rookie moments. But for Colorado today, the charge will be trying to put him in as many favorable positions, stay ahead of the change, so you minimize the opportunities for that defense to pin their ears back and make life uncomfortable for him in the pocket.
As we documented in our pregame show, he does so without both of Colorado's starting offensive tackles, notably Jordan Seaton, who's been outstanding, and a 2-year rock at left tackle, unable to go today. Aki Ogunbiyi had a handful of starts at A&M. He's going to make his first start as a Buff today. There's a question about Fred Perry's knee brace. That's causing the delay before the first snap. So the star of this West Virginia defense, in fact, the Big 12 Defensive Player of the Week, has to come off the field before Julian Lewis's first snap as a starter. Traylon Miller, his tailback. They move his launch point on first down, and he flips it out. Something we expect to see a lot today without those offensive linemen. The plan was to get him out of the pocket.
You mentioned it, the loss of Jordan Seaton cannot be overstated. A guy with a bright Sunday future, a former 5-star on-3 midseason All-American, and one of the best pass protectors in college football.
Lewis to the air again. Spins one sideline. Busted up, incomplete. It's 3rd and long. Looking for Amarion Miller. Michael Coates Jr. with the pass breakup.
And he's one to keep your eye on in this West Virginia defense. Zach Alley coordinating a unit that has a true lockdown corner in Michael Coates Jr. Something I think Deion Sanders can appreciate from across that sideline. The press man ability that you saw on display on that play.
They are able to get Fred Perry on the field. Mountaineers looking for a 3-and-out to begin their day at home. Juju Lewis hit as he deals. Caught middle, wrapped up. No gain. Quentin Gibson, the freshman from Fort Worth, with the crosser. Great insiders, and the Mountaineers get off the grass on their first sequence of the day.
And we know this game of cat and mouse all day on 3rd down is going to be there, but first time out, Zach Alley elects to go drop 8. He wants to put as many bodies into throwing windows for Juju Lewis as humanly possible, force him to take the check down, but Siders still able to get some pressure on the 3-man rush and force the punt.
There's a look at Alley coming off that road upset at Houston and look to get back-to-back wins for the first time this season. Damon Greaves is a punter and a captain for Colorado. Preston Fox, the return man for West Virginia. After CU won the toss and took the ball, the Mountaineers began from their own 41-yard line, coming off a defensive stop. The Big 12 Freshman of the Week, Scotty Fox Jr., West Virginia's 4th starting quarterback and perhaps their final answer.
It certainly looks like it. It's been a revolving door this year, but in the last 3 games as he's gotten his feet under him, I really think you saw the benefit of all those reps pay off against Houston. He seemed confident, he seemed decisive, and they're hoping that shows up back here at home.
He guided them to touchdowns on 3 of their first 4 possessions last week, and they look for a quick start again here today against the Colorado defense that's fallen behind in each of their last 2 losses. Dio Hubbard with the carry in the arms of Brandon Davis Swain, the tackle for CU. Pick up a 3 on first down.
Hubbard, one of the other stars of last week, career highs in carries and yards in the win.
West Virginia tempo to the edge, and a first down in Colorado territory. Preston Hodge made the hit. This is a shorthanded CU secondary without R.J. Johnson today, without DJ McKinney today, and without Tawfiq Bayard, their sophomore safety. He'll sit the first half, guilty of targeting last time out.
And one of the biggest playmakers on this defense that likes to play a lot of man coverage and can lead at times to some of the broken tackles as we've seen as the snap sails over the head of Scotty Fox Jr. Lucky enough to fall on that one and corral it.
-12 for a quarterback who's not turned it over in his starts. Ball security has been the hallmark of this midseason turnaround.
And that snap high and hot right there, setting up a 2nd and long.
Fox hits his back foot, and the walls cave in. Early pressure and a sack for Brandon Davis-Swain, and the Buffs know this has been an issue all season, getting pressure on opposing quarterbacks. A very encouraging start here.
Great win right here from the 3 technique spot by Davis-Swain. Just a clean one-on-one destruction. The bull rush looks like the guard's feet got tripped up on the running back in protection, so a little friendly fire leads to a 3rd and a mile.
Set up the screen. Dior Hubbard with a long way to go, and he's undercut at the 40. Tion Parks getting a start at corner today. Tackling issues have been prevalent here in October and November for CU, so sure play in space there. And Dior Hubbard, coming out of an already injury-depleted running back room for West Virginia, is down before 4th down. West Virginia's running back story is tough to tell. No Jaheim White, no Ty Edwards, today no Clay Ash even, and Dior Hubbard does not look good coming off.
You're going to see here on that screen called on 3rd down, takes a shot directly to that left knee. Was seen not putting much weight on that leg as he headed off the field into the injury tent. Again, coming off a career high last week, 29 carries, over 100 yards. The workload for Sincere Bowers, who also had a career high in rushing yards last week. Looks like it'll get the uptick here until we get more word on Dior.
So both teams punt on their first possession. Here's Oliver Straw with 50 punts on the season, including this one, most of any punter in the conference. Quanell Farrakhan on the receiving end from his own 20. Big 12 college football on TNT Sports is presented by Modelo, the official beer of the college football playoff, and by Vanda Pharmaceuticals, innovating in pursuit of people's happiness. Right across the street, the Varsity Club, our thanks for some hospitality, taking care of our crew. Mike and I were not invited, but I heard it was a good time.
Yeah, apparently that's the cool kids club that got to go over to the Varsity Club there. I love a good bar with stuff all over the walls. Feels college.
Founded in 2008, owned and operated by West Virginia alumni. Dallin Hayden is the tailback for Juju's 2nd drive. And the Mountaineers converge right at the line of scrimmage, led by Ben Bogle, the junior linebacker, and West Virginia's highest graded run stuffer.
Great read and trigger off the backside here. Sees the zone read. They've got it covered down by Devin Grant, the defensive end. It allows the linebackers to play fast and downhill, take away that threat of the run.
2nd down to the full sticks. Lewis's only completion came on 3rd down and long in his first series. At the mesh point, he pulls and he hits. He's got a 1st down completion to Miller at the 39. Marion Miller last week against Arizona had 5 catches, 91 yards, 2 touchdowns, including a 59-yarder from Lewis.
You see the hard sell on play action that gets that secondary, Darian Lewis and company, down in the box, so a one-on-one matchup downfield.
The kid to Hayden, nothing doing left side. A loss of a yard. Eddie Vesterinen, the senior from Finland. On the nose, the senior defensive lineman with the stop to set up 2nd down and 11. Lewis at his throw down the line, taken away, so he takes off and stumbles back to the line of scrimmage. Another 3rd and long coming for the freshman quarterback. Greg Perry tracked him down, coming out of that slot spot for West Virginia.
And you can see right here, great awareness by Devin Grant on the left side, getting in front of that wide receiver screen, forcing Juju Lewis to take the ball, tuck it, and get it out the other way. Great heady play by the freshman quarterback.
Juju needs 10. Blitz picked up. Now the protection breaks down and he's sacked. Bogle against the run, and now with the pass rush, a sack of 11 yards.
So the first 3rd down, they drop 8, they rush 3. This time they bring it all, and you're going to see the matchup over here on the right side. Both tackles backups. Andre Roy Jr. on that right side just sets a little too far back, and so the up and under available for Bogle as he gets the sack and forces the punt.
A defensive struggle early here in Morgantown. In week 11, the Buffs and the Mountaineers, a battle of 3 and 16s. Preston Fox with a fair catch just below his 30-yard line. 3 punts between the teams combined. CU and West Virginia on a fall Saturday. Freshman running back for West Virginia, Dior Hubbard, had touchdowns in 4 of West Virginia's past 5 games, but he's shaken up on the first series here today. Get a look at Rich Rodriguez, and we send it down for more from Jared.
Well, guys, Dior Hubbard didn't appear to be putting a lot of pressure on that leg. He went immediately into the blue medical tent where he was working with the head athletic trainer for football, Mike Polisek. He came out of the tent, did some sprints. Polisek then consulted him and took him into the locker room. We are awaiting an update on Hubbard's status, but as you mentioned, they are depleted. Top 2 quarterbacks, top 2 running backs, leading receiver. This team has been injury wounded all season long.
All right, so Sincere Bowers, the sophomore, will get a heavy workload for now, coming off a season-high 65 rushing yards last week and his first touchdown since week 1. Jaheim Otis, a junior defensive tackle, dragged him down on first down. They hit the jet sweep. Blocking on the perimeter was a key to success last week for Rich Rodriguez and company. Rodney Gallagher shortens up 3rd down with a run for 6.
And I was just going to say, the jet motion from the wide receivers where you can go with that injury depletion, a staple of the Rich Rodriguez spread offense.
3rd down has been difficult for these Mountaineers. Last in the Big 12 in conversion rate, less than 29% of their 3rd down tries this season. Military appreciation helmets at home today as Fox rolls and throws. Well covered. Airtight out on the perimeter. Preston Hodge gets a pass breakup and sets up 4th and 3. He leads the Big 12 in passes defended on a per-game basis.
And they're trying to go for that rub right there, just not quite able to get over enough to affect Preston Hodge, who does a great job. Man-to-man coverage across the board, 5 players up around the line of scrimmage. Very clear intention from Robert Livingston's defense, and a great job executing there to force the punt.
So 4th-year punter Oliver Straw sends it away again. Farrakhan lets it bounce, and it takes a left turn out of bounds about the 27-yard line. Scoreless, 8:15 to go in the first, and we've got a chance to show you our new ref cam. Our umpire today, Brandon Wood, wearing it for us. TNT Sports.
It's like Tony Stark. Got a little Iron Man heart on him right now. Oh, let's go under the hood. Get real Nat Geo with it. This is awesome.
Hope you took your Dramamine.
Yes. But a great insight and a great look into how these officials are having to make the call, life in the middle in the trenches on a lot of these plays, and especially offenses that'll both make use of the zone read and RPO.
Speaking of a run from the Buffs, Micah Welch. Sophomore, team-high 64 rushing yards on opening night against Georgia Tech. A couple good games since.
You ever thought you could play linebacker or safety in the box in college football? Well, there's your look at exactly what's coming downhill at you, down in and down out.
Shotgun snap to Lewis. He deals down the right sideline. And a contested ball knocked away from Sincere Brown. Once again, it'll be 3rd and long. These are the down and distances that Lewis has been living in his first CU start.
We talked about the ability of coach, but Jordan Scruggs, who spells him, great job staying in phase and not getting too handsy, especially that ball underthrown. A lot of times, that's where we see that defensive pass interference that ends up getting the offense some easy free chunks.
Press coverage on Brown there. As Lewis deals with 3rd down and 9. Dodging the initial pressure. Well navigated. Throws to the sticks, and he appears to be just short. Brown coming back to the ball, needed 9, got 8. So far, Lewis and the offense staying on the field for Prime. Well, he's showing the intention to go for 4th and 1 on the road here in Morgantown. And they do snap it. Mountaineers all over it. They smother Welch. And they take over on downs. Eddie Kelly Jr. leading the way for West Virginia.
Great job by this West Virginia defensive front, just holding up at the point of attack. You see a lot of bodies in there. Nate Gabriel holding up at the line of scrimmage, giving their linebackers time to get downhill and rally, crashing from the perimeter by who else other than Fred Perry. Zach Alley got to be fired up with that one. The defensive coordinator, Brent Venables' disciple, going to always give you plenty to look at, and there are plenty of bodies at the point of attack.
So only one first down for each offense so far, but great starting field position for Fox and the Mountaineers. After the fake to Bowers, good decision to keep it, or that would have lost yardage. Jeremiah Brown, the senior off-ball linebacker, limits the gain to a yard, if anything.
Great job reading on that one. Design quarterback run all the way, and that backside linebacker was not fooled.
You know that Fox can scoot. He's going to take this snap from empty. Throws high but caught below the 35-yard line. Third down coming for West Virginia. Back to Jerry.
Guys, Dior Hubbard back on the West Virginia sideline. They're going to try and see if he can get back in the game. He does have a lower extremity injury, is what they're labeling it.
Thank you, Jared Greenberg. Meantime, third down. Fox again from empty. Plain platform. Too hot to handle. Sincere Bowers couldn't bring it in. Now Rich Rodriguez with a fourth down decision.
You're kind of in no man's land here as you see the offense staying on the field, and I like this decision. Coming off the fourth down go call by Colorado, West Virginia was in great four-down territory. That route looked short, and it was going to set them up for a fourth and short opportunity. Now your freshman quarterback going to have to show the poise in maybe buying some extra time against this Colorado man coverage.
They picked up all four of their fourth downs last week. Fox stands in and delivers and hits. A first down in the red zone. Jeff Weimer with 14 yards through the air.
You're going to have the hitch to hold on the inside here and then watch the receiver come in with that post route over the top. Great timing on the throw by Scotty Fox Jr.
Bowers burrowing. CU reacting as if they forced a fumble. Bucks think they've got it. Colorado gets a takeaway.
The Buffs bow up defensively and put the ball on the mat. Colorado football when we return.
West Virginia gets a fourth down stop, but then fumbles. CU takes over. Brandon Davis-Swain, a freshman already with a sack and this forced fumble.
You see Keaton Wade on the bottom of the pile, forcing him to stop his feet, but then the diving effort from Brandon Davis-Swain. Phenomenal work. What a response from that Colorado defense to pay off the trust their head coach Deion Sanders had in them by going for it on fourth down, backed up in their own territory.
Ben Finisek had the recovery. First down Colorado. They too sweep from the receiver position. Cam Michael, a freshman, with all of his stats coming in now the last 4 games with injuries decimating the skill position players, and especially the running back room. And there's a look we're describing with Dior Hubbard for a scary lower body injury. Appears to be moving well.
That's a welcome sight for Mountaineer fans after the first couple of drives without him for this offense.
Play fake to Miller. Juju's in trouble, and he's sacked again. This time it's Reed Carrico for the Mountaineers, -10.
And for a mobile quarterback, this is great rush lane discipline. You're going to watch them cast the net around Juju Lewis and then just keep him in the pocket. They saw him escape that last time, so you've got everyone evenly spaced and you're able to close that net around him. Great discipline from this defensive front from West Virginia.
An 18-year-old who put up prolific numbers in high school, trying to get his offense started on the road here in Morgantown. Top of his drive, pass deflected. And looking for Dallin Hayden. There's a marker down in the pocket.
Yeah, they're going to get the right tackle on the single leg takedown.
Mike McCabe, our referee.
Holding. Offense, number 72. That penalty is declined. Fourth down.
West Virginia's defense just playing really disciplined football Changing the picture some on the back end, you're going to see a bunch of safety rotation, but Colorado, when backed up on these multiple 3rd and longs they've had, clearly not going to let Julian Lewis put it loose right now down the field, put the ball in harm's way, especially in the shadow of their own end zone.
Reeves on the G in West Virginia, ready to punt it away again. Preston Fox, the return man for the Mountaineers, standing near midfield. The back of the end zone. Special teams delivering the first points of Week 11 for West Virginia.
And you saw that all-up look at the line of scrimmage. Coming off that right edge, great technique through the block point. Hands low, taking the ball right off the foot of the punter, and not quite able to get and fall on it for the touchdown before it goes out of the back of the end zone. But a game-changing play using that field position to their advantage.
Israel Boyce is a reserve safety. I think Justin Smith-Brown was the reserve receiver who nearly pounced on it and turned it into 6. Instead, they'll have to settle for 2 on the board in the football with 4:35 to go in the first.
And JB, this still all stems off that decision from Deion Sanders to go for it on 4th and 1 in minus territory. And then the trading blows of field position in that battle between these two teams ends with West Virginia getting an opportunity in special teams that now can in turn flip field position again, setting their offense up for a drive that could start with decent field position.
Buck Buchanan, the kickoff specialist for Colorado, with 35 touchbacks, more than double last year's total, will not be able to boom it out the back of the end zone here. Preston Fox is ready for his opportunity. From the 11, Fox with a block, weaving his way to the 40, and great starting field position for now, but a flag reigns in on that return.
A little chirping over on the West Virginia sideline.
During the return, holding, receiving team number 37. 10-yard penalty, first down, West Virginia.
The Caden Beiser, their reserve linebacker.
You just watch the right side of the frame here. Grabbing a little bit too much of that jersey. And that pull at the end there seals the deal for the official.
Dior Hubbard is back. They fake to him, set up to throw, ripped the seam, and it's Cox. Rumbling up to the 45-yard line, it's Grayson Barnes, the senior tight end. 20 on the connection with Fox.
Hubbard back on the field, already making the impact, able to hold the eyes of the linebacker level and open up those seams for his quarterback. Good passing to start after a couple of run-heavy early downs for West Virginia.
Three-roll tight end with a first down grab, and now they do give on that end around. Another forceful run, this time into Colorado territory. Jeff Weimer, the senior, and another California product, finishing his career in Morgantown.
And this tempo of Rich Rodriguez, now a fully sharpened weapon for the Mountaineers.
So great to see Dior Hubbard back in the fray. He could not put any weight on that leg as he was helped off with that opening drive injury. Give Arden Walker, a senior defensive end, to tackle, limiting the gain to 3. A block punt leading to a safety for the first time since 2014 for the Mountaineers. Now they go vertical. Cam Vaughn. Oh, a contested catch out of bounds.
The boo birds from this crowd, but a great call by the official on the field. You'll clearly see, watch the right leg of Vaughn come down here, clearly in the white. You see the pelts from the turf field. Click up there, sending the message home. Great hands, great ability to adjust and make the catch, but unfortunately the foot just not where it needed to be. And like the last drive, I think you've got 2 plays to get the first down here in 4-down territory just across midfield.
You see the 3rd down numbers for the Mountaineers. This is where they're at their best. Fox puts his foot in the ground and takes off. A new set of downs at the 25.
QB run all the way here, and this is what happens when you've got 2 to get 4. Watch Hubbard ends up being the lead blocker here on the quarterback counter, so the guard comes and kicks out the end. He's able to get just enough of the linebacker coming across and spring his quarterback for the first down.
A Neil Brown recruit who, instead of bolting, decided to stay and play, and he winds up the starter here in November. Hubbard pushing the pile downhill near the 21-yard line in the arms of Jeremiah Brown.
You're going to see from our ref cam here, this Colorado linebacker group playing fast and downhill right now. You're just outside of the red zone. There's a play-action opportunity here for West Virginia with how aggressive. You see the safeties all coming up near the line of scrimmage for Colorado right now.
Hubbard in the slot. Shotgun snap. Free rusher at the cornerback. He throws behind it, complete for a first down and goal opportunity. Christian Hamilton, a sophomore receiver, with a gain of 14. Fox after the safety. They're going to punch it in. Carries to the full. Jeremiah Brown dragged him down. It'll be 2nd and goal inside of 2 minutes to go in the opening frame.
Get a little added beef out there. 2 tight ends. Ryan Ward comes on the field for West Virginia. And we see this some. You can use that 2 tight end formation, both of them on the right side right now, as that potential escort, either for the running back or the quarterback on a keeper down in the low red zone.
2nd and goal. On the give, it's shut down. Well defended by the Buffs as they look to bow up again on a short field. London Merritt in the mix this time, a freshman on that defensive front for Deion Sanders.
This is another area we saw them get down here before, using the aggressiveness of the safeties against them. The run-pass option is built for moments like this. See if you can get Ben Fennessett, the safety, or one of these other guys on the back end to bite down on that run cell and then get a route to Vaughn right down here, who looks like he's in motion territory.
Timeout with a minute to go.
First charge timeout, West Virginia.
We invite you to watch MLB Legends and Stars tee off in the inaugural Capital One MLB Open at Shadow Creek. It's November 18th, 9:30 p.m. Eastern on TNT and HBO Max. Go to MLB.com/golf for more details. 3rd meeting between these programs, first as Big 12 members, first in 16 years. It's an early 2-0 lead on a block punt for West Virginia. And off the free kick, now they're driving into 3rd and goal.
And I think this is yet another scenario where, because of the field position, because of what you've seen, the stress they've been able to put on Juju Lewis on the other side, I think this is 4 downs, trying to make sure you're ending this drive with a touchdown.
Scotty Fox Jr., their freshman quarterback, with 4 passing touchdowns this season, 3 rushing scores. His fellow freshman, Hubbard, in the backfield, has 4 scores in the past 5 games for West Virginia. And now a timeout from the Colorado sideline.
First charge timeout, Colorado.
Everyone getting a nice extended look at this formation. And now this is kind of where the cat and mouse game comes between both coaching staffs. West Virginia's come out with that same formation. Heavy personnel, 2 tight ends on the right side. Cam Vaughn, the lone receiver, to the left. And that's been after both of these stoppages. So does West Virginia come out now, give them another change of formation, and try and see if Colorado can be disciplined in how they go about this?
What a day. 60 degrees between a rainstorm and some expected snow early next week. It's a gorgeous one here in Morgantown. Each head coach spends a timeout here in an and goal situation. Fox calls for the snap. Calls his own number. And again, he's dragged down short. Jeremiah Brown, one of these seniors in the middle of this Colorado defense that Rob Livingston said still playing for more than just pride.
Does a great job just cutting under the block of the pulling offensive tackle. And this is the right call. Go for it on 4th down. You've got a mobile quarterback in here. I would try and get him on the move and give him a bit of a two-way go.
And bring Curtis Jones Jr., a defensive player, into the backfield. He takes the handoff, and he is in. He's 6'4". He's 225 pounds. He's a sophomore bandit on defense, but Mike, he's also a former two-time All-State running back, and they go his way on 4th and goal.
A load to bring down. Shades of Jeremiah Love against Penn State down by the goal line. Just would not be denied. Surging through arm tackles, keeps the feet chopping, reaches towards the goal line. They're going to take another look at this right now. This should be a great angle of this play. And you're looking to see if that knee's down at all as he goes triple extension to try and get over the goal line. Just an unbelievable individual effort. We'll see if it holds up.
Fans of the Mountaineers, they've been teased with this for a few weeks now. And we were at the walkthrough yesterday, and knowing how depleted they are at running back, we're like, who's 18? Comes over from the defensive side.
So you see right there, both knees up. And all it needs is the ball to break the plane of that white line. Full control. Knees look like they're up off the ground. It's going to be that other angle, but based on the couple we've pieced together here, I think this is going to be upheld. I think that's the shot right there. The ball in his front forearm, just crossing the white line before both those knees hit.
And the call on the field is a touchdown. And if it stands, West Virginia is going to go block punt for a safety, and then an 11-play drive for a touchdown to back it up.
Phenomenal complementary football that you just described. We've talked about the steady build over the last couple of games. A TCU game that was close and saw a lot of offensive production. The Houston game, they get over the hump and get a win. And now trying to continue to put reps on tape as bowl eligibility still a possibility down the stretch of the season.
After review, the ruling on the field of a touchdown is upheld.
So having lost Dior Hubbard on a 3rd down on the opening series, he's able to work his way back into this game, get them into an end goal situation. They go with Jones to finish it, and the extra point for a 9-0 lead.
That drive had a little bit of everything for this West Virginia offense. We saw when it's running at its highest form, you've got the jet sweeps available to you. Dior Hubbard as the run threat, setting up some passing yards downfield, design quarterback runs on pivotal downs and distances. The 11-play, 75-yard drive that, again, began with Hubbard coming back on the field and helping them get Grayson Barnes open in the seams. Then 3rd down, maybe 2 to get 4, and you keep it in the hands of Scotty Fox Jr. coming off a week where he had 2 rushing touchdowns. And the throw right here, on time and in rhythm to get them down in the low red zone before the big fella pays it off, Curtis Jones Jr. And you know that's the proof of concept he needs. He's probably been chirping at the coordinator, talking to Rich Rodriguez in practice, saying, Coach, you saw the highlights in high school. You know what I'm about.
There are outside linebackers all around the Big 12 waiting for their chance to play today, getting their pitch together, their elevator pitch for their head coaches.
You see Coach when you're down in the lobby at the hotel going through walkthrough and just put the bug in his ear. He'll catch a few balls in front of him on the field.
See if Gibson gets a chance here. He's already brought one out from a couple yards deep. This sails over his shoulder for a touchback. Cheer on your favorite Big 12 teams with officially licensed fan gear. For the best selection of team apparel and accessories, head to shopncaasports.com today. Well, only a single first down for the Buffs so far, and now they trail by 9.
It's a big gut check moment for this team. I thought the defense has come out with incredible effort after back-to-back weeks giving up 50 or more points. Can the offense help give them some juice on this drive?
It was 3 of 7 for 26 yards. They roll his pocket. Looked like a catch, but it's knocked away from Joseph Williams as he tried to secure it. So incomplete, 2nd and 10.
Yeah, it looked like a busted play. You had 2 receivers in the same area. The tight end, Zach Atkins, was right over there, so you had a cluster for Juju Lewis to try and negotiate through on the outside.
The challenge for him this week, according to Prime, was to be concise and precise in his first starts. Selling out against the run, the Mountaineers swarm it. Fred Perry came screaming off that edge for a tackle for loss. 80 snaps per game, and they say that's too much. But the reigning Big 12 Defensive Player of the Week gets a tackle for loss to send us to the 2nd. You're watching Big 12 football on TNT Sports, presented by Modelo. West Virginia 9, Colorado scoreless as we go down to Jared Greenberg with Deion Sanders.
Well, Coach, what's your evaluation of Juju Lewis in his first career start?
He's not nervous. First series, I think he was a little nervous. Right now, he's calm, he's cool, he's collected. We got to just do a better job. They're doing a really good job with their freshmen. We got to do a better job with ours.
The West Virginia offense has given your defense a lot of looks. What can you guys do to help out Juju on the defensive side?
All those looks, we've seen all those looks. It's nothing uncommon. It's nothing we hadn't seen. We just got to get the job done.
All right, Coach, good luck. Thank you.
Bless.
Guys.
All right, thank you, Jared. And as we set up the second quarter, we want to recycle kind of the story that we began our pregame show with and also our broadcast. Also a change of responsibilities in terms of who's speaking to Juju Lewis and calling these plays this week.
Yeah, we know Pat Shurmur, right now the offensive coordinator in name only. Brett Bartolone, the tight ends coach. It may have been the play caller for the last couple of weeks. Deion Sanders kind of insinuated that in the press conference. And so for Juju, you've had all these voices in your ear during preparation. You've got to hone in on Brett Bartolone's voice in your helmet, knowing you get till 15 seconds on the play clock, which is a huge advantage for a young player.
Scoreless in the first, and that's been an issue for Colorado. Only 7 combined points in their last 5 games, including today in the opening quarter of play. 3rd down and 12 to begin the second. Lewis drives one, a confident stroke. It's caught. Marion Miller as Juju drops it in the bucket. Looked like there could have been a flag there as well as he ran past Jason Chambers.
And they're trying to put their foot down on the gas pedal. Great pickup, corner blitz on the other side. The offensive line eats it up. Shades of the throw that Juju Lewis had to Amari Miller for the touchdown last week as well.
Best play of the day. Now they hit the flats. Great tackle in space. John Lewis getting some burn, the senior linebacker, in on that tackle.
But great breathing room, and this part of what they talked about with Juju Lewis. They feel like he can make all the throws, and he's got the poise to stand in there as you're dealing with pressure, show and go from one side to the other to deliver that strike man-to-man.
Miller in motion there. Whistles in a flag down for a procedural penalty.
False. Offense, number 52. 5-yard penalty, remains 2nd down.
14 penalties for 110 yards in last week's loss for Colorado.
But last week's loss also gave you some of the hints of what could be to come. Here was Juju Lewis late in that one. The deep ball to Amari Miller that gives him the chance to run in for the long touchdown. And that's why people talk about garbage time in college football, getting guys out there. What's the purpose of it? It's to get reps like that you've only seen in practice for Juju so far at game speed.
From a 2-back set against a 3-man rush. This time well protected. There is a flag as he checks it down to Dallin Hayden. Let's see if this backs up the Buffs.
Yeah, that's going to be a face mask on the right tackle.
Personal foul. Hands to face. Offense number 52. 15-yard penalty. We play second down.
Andre Roy Jr.
In for the usual starter, Larry Johnson, one of the 2 offensive tackles, missing today. Gets a great jump on the snap. You're going to see that right hand just go directly to the grill of Braden Siders.
Interesting, they pull him off the field. Mid-drive, Mike.
Yeah, you don't see that a lot. Sometimes for defensive players who are used to rotating, but for a group that's already dealing with a bunch of different bodies up front, stressing the communication like this is a bold choice.
Xavier Hill in at right tackle. They blitz it. Reed Carrico in again.
Yeah, you're going to see both tackle and guard slide out this way, and no one there for Carrico up the middle. Some confusion over the responsibilities. You see Zarian McGill trying to come back off after the nose tackle trades the other way. 3rd and a mile now.
You're not kidding. Nothing in the playbook for this. Doesn't matter who's calling plays. Hayden did well to pick his way up near midfield to set up the punt. Dashing for 11 yards.
You almost couldn't see the sticks. Remember, this drive was in plus territory. You had the deep pass to Amarian Miller and backed up all that way by penalties. The splash plays on the other side. That's the kind of stuff. There's been way too many 3rd and double the sticks so far today for a young quarterback that you're trying to create some winning opportunities for.
Grade's first year at Colorado after a couple at Kansas. He's the Buffs punter. Only had 1 block, this one away safely. And it's into the end zone. A nice deke there by Fox. Just a spectacular day here in Morgantown, about 75 miles south of Pittsburgh, along the Monongahela River. Big Mountaineer Week here in Morgantown. They're honoring their Sugar Bowl championship team from 20 years ago. They've also honored Steve Slayton for his College Football Hall of Fame induction. And we had a chance to talk with Rich Rodriguez about his memories of that team that season, and especially the bowl game.
Boy, his eyes lit up when he talked about early in that game a sprint handoff on the draw to Steve Slayton where you got multiple Georgia defensive backs colliding. And the coach told us he remembers being on the headset saying to the rest of his coaches, I think we're a little faster than they expected in this game, and that proved all 4 quarters of that one. What a team.
We're planning to talk with Steve a little bit later on. Stick with us for that. As the Mountaineers begin a new drive, 9-0. Behind the line of scrimmage, Dior Hubbard trapped for a loss, and apparently it's not a very long wait. Jared's already on it. Go ahead, buddy.
That's right. We don't want to make you wait for a Mountaineer legend. Steve Slayton, congratulations. 2025 College Football Hall of Famer, 20th anniversary of your Sugar Bowl championship team. What has this day and this weekend been like for you back here in Morgantown?
2 best days of my life right now. Having the team being remembered, myself being remembered, I couldn't ask for a better weekend.
What do you think about when you go back, particularly to that 2005 team?
The hard work paid off. I think that's one of those things to where when you're in it, you don't know where it's going to end, but 20 years later, you get celebrated here. 20 years later, you get to College Football Hall of Fame. It's the hard work and blood, sweat, and tears is definitely worth it.
I think Mountaineer fans watching at home would love to hear you as there's a bee that just landed on you. Let's get that off of you, Steve. Legends can't have bees on them. That 2005 team, you had to go through some adversity to win that Sugar Bowl, right? It's the Sugar Bowl, supposed to be in New Orleans, moved because of Hurricane Katrina to Atlanta. You're a huge underdog, and Rich Rodriguez said the Dogs had no idea how fast you were that day, did they?
Not at all. I think a lot of teams were very surprised. I think we were and still could be the best conditioned team in college. So I think that was one of those things to where we took teams to the deep waters. 4th quarter is our time to shine.
All right, last thing I want to ask you, and this may be the most important thing you're asked all day. We have learned that you are now a professional personal chef. We up in the booth have a professional personal eater, and his name is Michael Golick Jr. As West Virginia gets a massive hit there. Do you have any suggestions? What would you feed Mike Golick Jr. on a perfect day in Morgantown like this? What would you make for him on a game day meal?
I guess you got to start with pepperoni rolls. And after that, all the pasta you can eat.
Sliced or stick pepperoni rolls?
Both.
Both?
You got to definitely have a variety.
All right, Steve, appreciate that. Maybe you can cook some up for us and get us out here for the second half.
I can't hear you.
Get some pepperonis out here for the second half.
I'll try.
Steve Slayton, congratulations on going into the College Football Hall of Fame.
Thanks again. I appreciate it.
Guys.
How about that all of the above pepperoni buffet?
A man after my own heart right there. That's a running back who's used to taking care of his big fellas up front. And the way he did just by being on the field for that team. That's at the heart of some of my best college football memories. Those early 2000s West Virginia teams, Pat White on this staff here for Rich Rodriguez, just insane.
A second charge timeout to Colorado gives us a chance to look back. And another thing that Rich Rodriguez told us is that one of the greatest weeks of practice and preparation he's ever been a part of. He didn't think they had a single missed assignment in the 5 days running up to that game.
And you heard it from Steve there, right? They understood the opportunity, the hard work that went into that. When you're a part of a great team like that, when you're around a winning culture, you learn how difficult that is. We hear all the time from coaches. Winning is a skill. It's learned, and being able to bank those moments that you can call back on in the game every day in practice, part of why that's one of the better college football teams we've ever seen.
We know Rich Rod's got that competitive spirit. Told us he and his wife are pretty competitive out on the pickleball court. Save the rest of that story for a little bit later, but good to see some Mountaineer legends in attendance today. And here's the best run of the day over the left side for Draylen Miller. And that's what Juju Lewis and this offense need. A little bit of breathing room and some positive momentum, a gain of 14 on the turf.
Talked about all the running back injuries for West Virginia, for Colorado. DeKalen Taylor, Simeon Price, both expected to have a big workload, both been out since late September, and so they've had to work with backups in the backfield as well.
They go back to it. Another good punch here. Fumble! And it's recovered by an offensive lineman on the fly. Darian McGill in the right place at the right time. They're starting center.
Large excellence on display here. Great job on the back end. Darian Lewis putting his head on the football. But the big fella, soft hands, ready to go. Get your best athletes the ball, however it may happen.
Yards after contact. Second and a couple with the tight end in motion. Sifting, searching, and finding a first down.
Great response from this offensive line. We talked about the guys that are down for this group, and we've seen some shuffling already. Xavier Hill, who was injured last week, now in at right tackle after we saw Andre Roy, who was originally in as the backup, pulled off after jumping off sides, getting the penalty, on the hands to the face. So it's a reshuffled group, opening some holes.
It's Williams in orbit motion. Here comes the blitz. Deep drop for Juju. Fading away from pressure. And he finds a target. Sincere Brown open late, and that was another gem from Juju.
Watch the blitz pickup from Micah Welch here, number 29, the running back. Pressure from the field. He sticks his nose right in there against Ben Bogle and gives his young quarterback the time. Everyone else got to pull the rope a little tighter to give your young signal caller a chance.
Out of the pistol, looking to throw again. Check down Welch, could not handle. No points on the board yet, only a handful of first downs, but these are the types of moments that I know Bucs fans are tuned in to see, right? They want to know where this is going next for a team that's 15th in the Big 12 in scoring in yards so far on offense.
You see the poise, his first and second looks aren't there. He knows where his check down is, can't connect. This drive, though, made possible by the fact the Colorado rushing attack finally coming online.
Left side runs have been the key to this march, and Darwin Hayden tripped up by the shoelaces, leaving third down and long at the 9-minute mark. Lewis with another tackle from the safety level. Now, technically, Lewis wasn't credited with a forced fumble last week, but I know you watched that tape. He was the blitzer on Connor Wigman when he jarred that ball loose, or didn't in the second quarter, whatever it was. It was recovered by Jamoy Robinson, and that set the tide, I think, for the day in that road upset.
I know close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades. I think it should count there, too.
In forced fumbles. Lewis. Fastball for a first down below the 20. Joseph Williams, a sophomore from Texas, and last year's AAC Freshman of the Year with Tulsa on the receiving end.
And go back to the first drive. They went drop 8 to try and cloud the vision of the young quarterback. This time, Juju Lewis looks comfortable back there, found his best option, and hummed that ball in. Starting to get his feet under him now.
Dodging traffic in the backfield. He will be sacked again. Ben Bogle. When we talked with Zach Alley, the two keys for him were pressure and the illusion of pressure and kind of mixing speeds as they came after Lewis. We've seen them do it a lot here in the first half.
And you got max pressure, and you're going to watch the tight end one-on-one Zach Atkins with a rusher, and that's part of the difficulty of those protection structures. Asking a tight end to be one-on-one with a known rusher, usually a losing formula for the offense.
Feed Miller. Flag comes in right at the point of attack. 2 flags down, in fact. Second down and long situation. Jamori Robinson, who we just mentioned last week on a fumble recovery, in the mix there defensively for West Virginia. He's put together a couple of his most consistent weeks as he plays himself back into game shape. Took far too long to sort out his eligibility this offseason. Coaching staff saying he missed about 3,000 reps.
Face mask, defense number 0. Half the distance to the goal. Automatic first down.
They get him for the foul here, and they give Colorado a free first down.
You see him on the edge right here, and does get just enough of that face mask on the outside, those 2 fingers in. Was wondering if they were going to get 55, Kareem Harden, the left tackle, to the hold, but huge break for the Buffs.
Lewis in the slot now. Direct snap to Draylon Miller, and the Mountaineers were all over it. Michael Coach Jr. did his homework. He gets a tackle behind the sticks.
Great discipline from Coates. All Mountain West first teamer a year ago with 4 interceptions at Nevada. And you see Juju coming to motion across here. Coach just staying home, staying disciplined, understand if those responsibilities are elsewhere, if that ball's going to go back to Juju.
Most sustained possession of the day for Colorado. They covered 60 yards. Here's their 11th play. Lewis, end zone. Nearly intercepted, no flags down. Marion Miller was the target again. Waterproof coverage from Coates.
You and I had Nevada last year against Georgia Southern, and you see him coming back over the top. Wow, Marion Miller almost with a SportsCenter top 10 worthy catch. But great job playing through the hands, Michael Coates.
Man, there was a lot of contact there.
On both sides, quite honestly.
So from the red zone, 3rd down 14. Juju Lewis had the pocket brought to his lap, stood in and dealt it to Zach Atkins. Last week posted season-high receiving totals. Got 10 yards here in the field goal unit coming on for Prime.
And I think this is the right call. You had your most successful drive of the day by far. Pay it off with points, get back over to the sideline, and now all of a sudden settle into this game with only 9 on the board so far for West Virginia.
Alejandro Mata, the senior kicker, from 23 to get the Buffs on the board here in the second quarter in Morgantown. Clean operation, bit of a low kick, but he drives it through. And CU gets 3 at the end of a 70-yard drive. Timeout us with 6:02 to go in the half. Fred Perry and the Mountaineers looking to go back-to-back for the first time this season as they host Colorado. Next week's NHL on TNT doubleheader starts in Boston as the Bruins host the Maple Leafs. And then the Ducks, led by 21-year-old Cutter Gauthier, the NHL's leading scorer, take on the Avalanche. Coverage begins at 6:30 Eastern on TNT, True TV, and HBO Max.
Got a 21-year-old tied with Sidney Crosby atop the league in scoring, just like we all planned in 2025.
Something tells me our producer, Kevin Brown, will be part of that.
Call it a hunch.
Buffs on the board, and they kick it away. Justin Fox signals for a catch early. Gives it back to his offense. They've got 9 points on a block punt for a safety and a touchdown courtesy of Curtis Jones Jr., a defender who got a 4th and goal red zone opportunity.
Just amazing stuff. Now the full field to work with here. And you've been on the sideline for a while. First extended drive from Colorado. The West Virginia defense has been forcing a lot of quick 3-and-outs. Can Scotty Fox Jr. and company take that momentum from the prior drive and copy-paste it back here?
We were there for his first start in Orlando, now his fourth in a row, and around, reverse, and it slams shut. Bowie got decked. Sean Myers upfield for this Colorado defense. It's a loss of 8 yards.
Sean Myers walking him down like Michael Myers on that play.
I see you.
Great backside discipline, just stays upfield. Works through the block, sees it coming back, and lays the wood at the point of attack. Attempted splash gadget play from West Virginia gone horribly awry.
On the drop back game, they get a completion above the 25-yard line. They're using Christian Hamilton, a sophomore receiver, quite a bit today. His second grab makes third down possible. Pickup of 10, and Bowie still trying to shake off that hit.
Tough scene there. Certainly hope we see him back on the field soon.
Hubbard in motion at the snap. Here comes the rush from Colorado. Mountaineers behind it. They hit a big one. Dior Hubbard standing on the gas pedal, and he runs out of juice at the 3. For a player who looked lost on the opening drive, what a return to play for Dior Hubbard.
Good reminder in college football, the wheel is always open. We'll go back and show you that as the Mountaineers get up here and try to go fast in the low red zone.
Hubbard with the catch. Now takes the handoff. Drilling to the 1.
You're going to see Hubbard coming out of the backfield here in motion. Just wind all the way up the sideline. You got the linebacker running with. So Scotty Fox Jr. knows he's got man-to-man coverage. The linebacker's got to sort through the trash on the outside. And you're right, a phenomenal, gritty effort by Hubbard today coming back from that early injury.
Fox under center. Spun around and tossed for a loss. London Merritt responding.
Called his name a couple times today. The acting chops maybe not there, going up and trying to fake like he's making the check at the line of the scrimmage. The Colorado defense not fooled. Robert Livingston, the defensive coordinator, has got to be fired up seeing that response from his team.
Spent a decade with the Bengals in the NFL, worked with some great safeties. And out to the shotgun for third down and goal. Fox pulls, he flips, and the Mountaineers put it in the paint. The freshman Ryan Ward with his first touchdown.
You're going to see on this play, JB, the threat of a quarterback with the legs that we've seen from Scotty Fox Jr. 2 rushing touchdowns a week ago. Watch what it does to Carter Stoutmeyer, the safety right here. Makes him stop his feet for just a second in a way that opens it up for Ryan Ward in the flat and an easy pitch and catch.
Kate Hensley cracks another extra point. How about Hubbard? An early scare. A big wheel. And the tight end pays it off. West Virginia grows its lead to 16-3. CNN is now streaming. That means you can read, watch, and stream all the news in one subscription. To subscribe, go to cnn.com/all-access. Mike Golick Jr. standing by, his Venmo open, ready to reimburse anyone on the Spirit squad who's got the arm to send a pepperoni roll to the booth.
Get one of those slingshots out here. Y'all can see where we are. Throwing pepperoni rolls out at a game. This really might be almost heaven. We may have arrived.
Woo! Great bites. Wait a second. I don't know. I'll fall with you, Mike. I don't know if I'm going to share a pepperoni roll with you like those guys.
We'll get there. We still got a few weeks left.
Gibson trying to turn the corner. Runs out of room at the 23. Jared, did you get a sample yet?
Well, the Milwaukee Brewers manager, Pat Murphy, made the pocket pancake famous. Let me show you the pocket pepperoni roll. Courtesy of Barney's.
Wow.
I'm going to tell you the key to this thing. It's sliced pepperoni, not a pepperoni stick. And if you know anything about anything around here in Morgantown, this is a quality pepperoni roll. I wouldn't mind if it was heated up a little bit, fellas. But Golick, you want a bite?
More than I've wanted anything this entire week, Jared. Incredible TV bite from you, by the way. Don't hold back.
Bucks begin a new drive with a well-blocked run. Dallin Hayden hits a crease, and he's got midfield. Israel boys had to run him out, but a chunk play for the Buffs.
And you're going to see right there, number 29 actually ends up down at the feet there. It's not quite a cut block. He falls over, but it ends up cleaning out some of the West Virginia defenders and opening up quite a lane as they back it up a bit.
They give him a 47. It is good for a first down. Back to the two-back set. Cam Michael on the left there, joining the backfield as they throw down the line. Hit Quentin Gibson a touch. He's shifty, and he's into Mountaineer territory. Before I forget, I have to remind Jared that dry cleaning is not a reimbursable expense. So
he's right, though. The slice is important. You don't have to worry about the juices all splattering on the bite there. That's prior preparation preventing poor performance. Write that down.
That's alliteration by you. Colorado with a field goal on the board. Now hunting for their first touchdown. Here on the road. Lewis swings it. Miller's been his favorite target, and you can see why. Amarion Miller on another dot from Juju Lewis.
And the ref's talking it over right now. You see Michael Coates, who they've been battling all day, trying to argue that he caught this out of bounds. Good hand fighting both ways. Comes in with that left hand. And the question going to be, when does he have control on that play? And they're going to take another look.
So is that right foot down and still in bounds when he maintains possession? For now, it's a 22-yard gain. I like the poise and the confidence by Miller, though, to hold off the defender and trust his left hand to secure that.
It's been a great battle between these two guys. And you saw here, if he had been able to stick it off the original catch, which easier said than done, but that's going to be it right there. He gains control. That right foot is down. But can we get a look of if it's across the white line or not? Boy, it looks like it's in bounds from this angle. You see, again, this is where the artificial turf helps, because you're looking for those black pellets coming up. I think that's it, about as close as you can get. The white cleats helping him out here, too.
And where the call on the field becomes very important, rule to catch initially.
Great view by our camera crew here. See, that angle now looks like it's out of bounds.
White cleats help or hurt in this situation, Mike?
I think help blur the line a little bit. Swag and function can both work together in concert.
No matter which direction this goes. I mean, we've seen enough from Lewis to see the arm talent, to see why he was such a highly recruited and regarded prospect who was on his way to USC before prime in Colorado brought him to Boulder.
I think from that last angle we saw, I think they might reverse this and call it incomplete. That angle from behind showed, I thought, clearly enough that it was out of bounds. But you're absolutely right. This is a player in Juju Lewis who, Deion said, has had packages in practice, had things that he's been practicing, but to get that full complement of 1 reps this week, to have the game plan built around your strengths and weaknesses, and to get through that initial wave. He's on the road in a hostile environment, had to weather the first couple of drives, where to Deion's point in the interview with Jared, he did look a little bit nervous, and the rest of the offense wasn't functioning great around him, but now we've really seen the gifts on display and him gaining the confidence this team is going to need from him, not only now, but down the stretch and hopefully in years to come.
Let's get the call.
The ruling of a completed catch inbounds for a first down is upheld. First down, Colorado.
So another highlight to build off of for Lewis and Miller.
My first miss on a prediction ever this season, so everyone mark that down. But you're right, incredible. And that battle on the outside, really, Amari Miller and Michael Coates Jr. has been a ton of fun to watch. Credit Zach Alley's letting him go out there in man coverage the way he has all year and go best on best. And occasionally, hey, he's on scholarship too, and you just saw those two exchange the high five down there. They're enjoying the competition out there on the field.
You mentioned the adverse circumstances, not just on the road in league, but with a retooled and ever-changing offensive line in front of him. Julian Lewis has not flinched. I mean, every possession, it's a new 5 up front for him, it feels like.
You could argue they're down the best player on their team in Jordan Seaton at left tackle. He's that good. And this group in front has done a much better job in the second quarter of not only the rush lanes, but protection too.
All right, they take it to our 2-minute timeout, presented by the Wells Fargo Active Cash Card. Bathroom break, perhaps. Grab a cool beverage and join Jared for a bite of a pizza roll. This 2-minute timeout was brought to you by the Active Cash credit card from Wells Fargo. Earn unlimited 2% rewards on purchases. Terms apply. Back at Milan Puskar Stadium in Morgantown, West Virginia. 16-3 our score, but the visitors driving. Michael in the backfield. He takes the handoff from Lewis. Oh, some shake. Now needs a block. Spins off contact and moves the chains. The freshman from Statesboro, Georgia, with 11 on the ground.
Little wiggle right there. Put his foot in the ground, riding the wave on this outside zone play to the left, and able to make more than a few miss at the point of attack.
So he limps off, 1:38 and rolling on the clock. Remember, Colorado won the opening coin toss, elected to take the football. So this is a high leverage possession for them, Mike, to close out the half. Braylon Miller inside the 10.
Talk all the time about that middle eight, last 4 minutes of the first half, first 4 of the second half, and you're exactly right. Especially after that last West Virginia score, it is imperative that this drive ends in the end zone for Colorado. And we've seen them get Juju on the move a couple of times. You wonder if they're willing to do it going away from his strong hand here with the left side open.
New set of downs available at the 2. It's 2nd and 7 in the red zone. Deep drop. Got it. Touchdown. Joseph Williams. Juju Lewis guides a touchdown drive deep in the opening half, and the Buffs are within a score.
Juju said, "You don't got to move me anywhere. I can see just fine from the pocket. You're going to watch this route come from just off screen over the middle of the field." 4-man rush, plenty of time in the pocket, sorting through the trash. And he just stays patient, waits for the wide receiver to clear, and hits Joseph Williams for the touchdown.
Mata for the try. Oh, that goes begging. He had made 105 consecutive PATs, but leaves one on the field here with 45 seconds to go.
One of the captains on this team, the specialist group, been the most consistent for Deion Sanders and the Buffs this year. Laces out, everything fine there, just mishits it and gets away from him.
Second special teams mishap of this opening half for Colorado. Had a punt blocked out the back of the end zone. A tough point to have that streak come to a close, but how about the streak to begin with for the senior? He spent a lot of time, whether at Jackson State or in Boulder, with Deion Sanders. As you get a look at the scoring drive, Lewis does not miss on that possession. And I think as much as anything, the protection getting better, having established the run and getting some traction, Mike.
Without a doubt.
Fox signals fair catch. And we'll see about Rich Rod's appetite with 45 seconds and 2 timeouts.
Another look at this touchdown. The poise in the pocket, great base from Juju Lewis. Get a look at it from the ref cam, right in the mix. This right where this football is going to come over. So again, that route coming just behind the linebacker Ben Bogle that you're seeing right there.
What a shot.
I think the umpire's got a future in this.
Receiving touchdown of the sophomore campaign for Joseph Williams. Second passing touchdown in as many weeks for Juju Lewis. Oh, wow, what a jump cut. Cam Vaughn disappeared. He's got the 40, and let's see if he's given his head coach reason to be a bit aggressive heading to the half here. 15 on that catch and run.
Great block. I think it was Dior Hubbard out on the perimeter there. And I love that. Most people assume, hey, you're going to try and pop a run, give them a reason. In that case, they zig when most teams zag, and I don't think Colorado's defense was ready.
Sprint draw. There's the block. Dior Hubbard. Out of bounds at midfield. No flags down. John Slaughter defended it, limited the gain to 10, maybe 9.5. They did not quite give him the first down. So 31 seconds, 2 timeouts. Last week, Cade Hensley hit a career-long 50-yarder with some wind at his back in Houston. Great QB run here. Across midfield, first down at the 49, maybe the 48 of Colorado. Keaton Wade with the tackle.
And 2 plays ready, knew it was going to stop the clock while the chains moved. Still 2 timeouts in their pocket.
Right back to it. And they spend their second. Here they do.
Second
Wade, the
charge
sack leader,
timeout.
with a couple of tackles in the
West
middle.
Virginia.
And how do you manage these final 20 seconds if you're Rich Rodriguez?
Well, you still got 1 timeout left, so ideally you'd like to save that when you're getting down closer to be able to send the kicking team out. So routes are going to be towards the sideline right now, and if you're Scotty Fox Jr., you just got to make sure you make the smart play. If it's not there and if you can't cut it loose early, don't make the game-changing play and put the ball in the other team's hands. Be willing to sail that ball out of bounds and live to fight another day. 20 seconds, plenty of time to get multiple plays off here. And if you've got something open in the middle of the field, the clock will stop. You can get up and spike it and still keep that timeout ready to go.
Saw Hensley, the senior place kicker for the Mountaineers, after Mata, the senior for the Buffs, just missed an extra point. Scotty Fox, who led West Virginia to its first road win over a ranked foe since 2018, just last week. Now trying to stack wins together for the first time here in 2025. Coaching staff telling us he's played beyond his years these last couple of games. And then he has next level arm talent. Let's see if he puts some of it on display here. Second down and 8. Steps into trouble and is sacked with a penalty marker down. Anquin Barnes Jr. rising to the occasion. Let's see if he's knocked West Virginia off track pending this penalty.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense number 92.
Instead, they're likely moving into long field goal range.
Automatic first down.
Boy, and I hate these penalties for the defense because this is a combat penalty. You're going towards the quarterback trying to make a great play. You can see him sneaking out of the pocket here, and Anquin Barnes just reaching out there at the end as they had done a great job collapsing it. The one thing you really can't do in a drive like this, take a sack, and Scotty Fox almost committed the cardinal sin. Gets bailed out by the penalty that now has them within field goal range.
Right about at that career-long spot. So with 14 seconds and 1 timeout, and they take an end zone shot, and they set Hensley up for success. Fox sets the laces. He climbs. He scampers. Made one buff miss, and he's tackled at the 23. Final seconds. Timeout West Virginia with 3 left. A run for 8, and here comes the kicking unit.
Third and final charge timeout. West Virginia.
Jared, you want to set up this half-closing field goal try for us?
Yeah, I spoke to Hensley right before the game, guys, and he's very candid with me about how unpredictable the wind is here inside the stadium, which is why he, on a regular basis, kicks in here rather than inside at their facility across the street. He feels like that gives him a huge advantage over the opponent's kickers who don't understand the swirling wind. He told me he should be good without that swirling wind from 55 in either direction, and right now, guys, there is absolutely no wind blowing here inside the stadium.
You see the long from 50 last week. Thank you, Jared. This will be 41. Take the final seconds of the opening half. Remember, West Virginia will also receive the second half kickoff.
Hensley is on.
Oliver Straw, his punter to hold it. Here it comes from 41 to close out the half. And it's a good one for Hensley and for West Virginia. A 10-point lead and the football when we come back.
Well executed there at the finish, aided by the penalty that overcame what could have been a drive-ending sack. And as you mentioned, the chance to swing that middle 8, getting the ball coming out of the halftime locker room.
Cade Hensley with his 8th made field goal of the season. Let's go down to Jared with Rich Rodriguez.
Coach, what's your evaluation of Scotty Fox there?
He's competing hard. He missed a couple things that he'll learn from, but I like the way he's got a command, and he knows what's happening out there, so that's a good thing.
You got a bunch of tackles for loss, bunch of sacks. Are you getting that push defensively you want?
Well, we're getting some negative yards plays, but we're giving up a couple big plays too. We got to fix that.
All right, good luck in the second half.
Thank you.
Thank you, Coach, guys.
All right, Jared, a passing touchdown for each of these freshman quarterbacks. Colorado and West Virginia in Morgantown. You're watching Big 12 football on TNT Sports, presented by Modelo. Set for our second half in Morgantown, West Virginia. This Big 12 battle of mountain ranges, the showdown of freshman quarterbacks. West Virginia leads it 19-9. As you're going to look at the first half stats for Julian Lewis and Scotty Fox Jr. Back to my friend Mike Golick Jr., JB Long. Hope you're having a great Saturday. Thank you for spending part of it with us. Fox will get the first crack at it here in the third quarter, but Juju led scoring drives on his last two possessions.
Really started getting his feet under him in that second quarter, making his first start after some extended action last week. And you saw all the potential from the former high school superstar. The deep ball accuracy, the big plays, supplemented by an offensive line that I thought did a better job protecting and establishing a run. But him and Amari and Miller picked up where they left off last week, and it's got the Buffs still within striking distance in this game.
Before they kick, here's Jared.
Guys, I just spoke to Deion Sanders, and he said that Juju Lewis now looks comfortable after getting those early jitters out. He looks good. He feels good about him. I asked Coach Prime about his message to the team at halftime. He said, listen, we came here for one purpose and one purpose only, no other reason, and that is to win the game. Coach Prime told me that collectively there is no way that West Virginia is a better team than Colorado is.
Wow. He was more than confident in his conversations with the media and with us this week, saying things are trending the right way behind the curtains. They just got to translate it to the win column. And I think things trending deep in that half in a favorable direction, too. And not just with their quarterback getting in rhythm, but the offensive line settling in, Mike.
Down two starters at both tackle spots. I thought they started to run the ball a lot better in that second quarter and did a great job of keeping their young quarterback upright.
Buck Buchanan is sent it away. It'll be a touchback, and the news gets better, especially defensively for the Buffs, because Taufik Bayard, who sat the first half because of a targeting foul last week, one of the Big 12's leading tacklers, leads them onto the field here, Mike.
And I think this Colorado defense was the story early in this game. Came out, forced a couple of quick possessions from the West Virginia offense. Remember, this game swung on the blocked punt for a safety that then turned into advantageous field position for West Virginia. So that 9-point swing there, I don't think emblematic of the effort that Colorado's defense has put on tape so far today.
Bob Livingston, defensive coordinator, called Bayard their rock on defense. So you got that plug left hand as Fox goes to work, throwing on the roll, heaving into trouble, unfortunate to get it back. Sean Slaughter playing that deep half, nearly came away with a pick.
Both teams right now, as we talked about, comfortable with their young quarterback cutting it loose, but you're going to see right here the design rollout play. The second half is going to be defined by which of these young quarterbacks can avoid making that game-changing mistake that we haven't seen yet.
Fox with the lead blocker. Slaloming for a few. It's third down and long. Arden Walker limits the gain to only 3.
This linebacker group that I had some questions about coming into today, would they have the eye discipline? Would they over pursue against all the eye candy in the backfield for West Virginia? So far making plays.
Here's 3 of 8 on third down, and there's a drop to force a punt. Don't see many of those from Cam Vaughn.
Certainly don't see many at all. You wonder if he had eyes on Preston Hodge coming from the middle of the field. He checks up. You wonder if Scotty Fox Jr. wanted him to keep going a little bit. And the two of them just slightly off, and a 3-and-out to start the second half for Colorado.
A break of serve right after the Buffs won the coin toss, elected to take the football. They punted it away on their first possession of the game. Now the Mountaineers do the same on the first possession of the second half. Farrakhan has no chance for a return here. Tiptoes the sideline with a Mountaineer hop, and let's see where they mark it out. At the 32-yard line. Well, you talked about it as we began this second half, but look at the turnaround as both the quarterback and the 5 in front of them settled into this game.
You saw some movement along the offensive line coming into this game. Andre Roy Jr. gotten the start at right tackle. They've now moved Xavier Hill out to that spot, and that group has really settled down now, and it's opened up a lot of the run pass option passing plays and the deep shots that were the hallmark of the first half for Juju.
Remember, the Buffs had only seen him a small handful of times. The spring game, Delaware, last week in the closing minutes against Arizona. So Juju's most extensive work, his first career start. And from a two-back set, they try that left side. That's really how they got some traction offensively, is running around that corner.
Certainly, with all the pressure that West Virginia brings up front, if you can catch them running away from that pressure and just get one win on the front side, you open up some big seams for this running back room, and that was how they were so successful in the second quarter.
Against a four-man rush, tight pocket. Swinging out to Draylon Miller. He makes one miss. Now a stiff arm. Carrico hanging on for that tackle. So third down upcoming for Juju Lewis and the Buffs.
Even that play, hard not to be impressed by the poise of Juju Lewis. That pocket is bearing down around him, and he steadies, understands again where his outlet is, and this time makes an on-time throw and gives his running back a chance to make a miss in space for a third much more manageable.
Gave it a third down number for West Virginia. There it is going the other direction. Just 2 of 8 for Lewis and the Buffs. They'll take this snap with Draylon Miller in his backfield. Joseph Williams in motion. He climbs and takes off. Able to fight through contact and keep the drive alive. 6-yard scramble for Julian Lewis.
In control, you're going to see him get pressure coming from the field side here. And once again, the offensive line does a great job protecting. The coverage is backing off, and he sees all that green grass, mobile enough to take advantage.
Miller pulled down from behind. Chase Wilson, who's a Colorado native, in fact played at rival Colorado State before making his way to Morgantown, gets credit for that tackle.
Chase Wilson and Braden Sider's former high school teammates. Part of the bedrock of this defensive unit. They have raved about Chase Wilson and his leadership ability from the moment he stepped on campus.
Looking the backfield, Darian Lewis able to get upfield and set up third down again. You're right about that linebacker, Chase Wilson. He's the only FBS player with 2 picks and 3 sacks. Give you a sense of the versatility of his skill set.
That versatility going to be on display here. They brought the zone pressure last time around. Let's see if they try and heat Lewis up now that he's been getting comfortable, and maybe give these guys on the outside a chance to go a little more man-to-man.
Michael Welch in to pick up the blitz, and another completion on third down. Chopped out! The Mountaineers scoop it! Derek Carter Jr. knocked it out of the hands of Amarion Miller. Michael Coates Jr. with the recovery, and a game-changing takeaway early in the third.
Somewhere Peanut Tillman is standing and saluting because the windup and punch by Derek Carter Jr. phenomenal. Coming from the middle of the field, the first down, jars it loose, and West Virginia takes over when we come back.
Well, instead of a third down conversion through the air for Juju Lewis, it's the first forced fumble for Derek Carter Jr.
It's a great throw and catch. Juju Lewis was dealing already on that drive after Colorado had forced the 3-and-out, but an incredible effort. He had live speed on the umpire cam. Just how fast that went from a Colorado first down to keep this drive moving to a game-changing play, the kind of stuff you drill in practice all the time. If you're Zach Alley, guys punching at the ball, trying to get just that.
Scotty Fox set up for his second drive of this third quarter. Dior Hubbard returned from an early injury to be a force in that first half. Davis Swain, we've been calling his name a lot, a freshman along that defensive front. Help from Martavius French, gain of 4.
2nd and 6 at the 46.
Swain's been active, but you're right about Hubbard, both on the ground as an influence coming out of the backfield. We saw him catch that long wheel to set up a touchdown. He's been great.
Randy Gallagher, the motion man. And they sweep him around the left side for a first down. A junior from Uniontown, PA, from a prep quarterback, settling in at receiver here with 8 on the run.
And that's why it works, because on that play, who else is lead blocking for him but Dior Hubbard? You've got to be willing to do everything, present different options to the defense. They never quite know what to expect out of all these different sets.
In motion at the snap. This time it's Swain. Jeff Weimer got a face full of merit. And the Mountaineers behind the chains.
A couple of plays like this from Colorado where it's just disciplined rush. by the ends, by the linebackers, controlling the backside of the defense. We saw them shut down the gadget play before, and now a great splash play there.
Tackle for loss. Now an access throw. Having to go to the ground, so no yards after catch. Hubbard secures it. One of the themes in this midseason turnaround for West Virginia and their upset win last week, their offensive line firing out the ball better. And also their perimeter blocking. So they get some of that here as Fox shoots. Cam Vaughn just had a drop and could not get away. And John Slaughter hangs on for the tackle. And you're in no man's land here. You're in the fringe area if you're Rich Rodriguez, so his offense staying on the field.
4-down territory. The right call here. You've seen them operating and calling plays with that in mind. Clearly knew from the jump this is going to be the way they went.
Mountaineers just forced a fumble. And the Buffs get it back with a 4th down stop. Fox keeps the play alive. And he turns it over. Preston Hodge with the pick. On a pass intended for Cam Vaughn. It's a 4th down throw, so it was a worthy chance to take. The Buffs get it back.
We said it's going to be about which of these young quarterbacks makes the game-changing mistake and throwing back across your body to the middle of the field. Just the no-no here ends up being a 4-man rush. He rolls, he breaks contain. And this got to be one of those spots you want to make the play. Live to fight another day. Either tuck it in your arm and try and get the yards on foot, but you absolutely can't cut it loose in the middle of the field there. Ultimately, the field position swing, not all that different, but could have been worse had there been a return on that.
Now Lewis after some points off the takeaway. Play action, deep drop. And he checks it down incomplete. One more thought on Preston Hodge. How do you think he feels as the Big 12 leader in pass breakups? Like, that's a nice stat, but it's kind of like, well, are you ever going to catch one of these? And there's his first pick.
That's where broadcast crews end up making the joke about they play defense for a reason. And you're absolutely right. Getting your hands on one like that in a pivotal down and distance. Way to show. Yeah, I touch a lot of them, but now I got to take this one home.
Yes. 2nd down and 10. Now some misdirection from Colorado. West Virginia had it covered. Gibson's got some afterburners, but not even he could find a crease.
Multiple times now today we've seen Michael Coates Jr. talked about a lot more for that coverage, his battles against Amari and Miller, but hold the backside as a tackler.
Matching 3 and 6 and 1 and 5 in conference records for Colorado and West Virginia. The loser today, in all likelihood, eliminated from bowl consideration. 8.5 to play. Lewis leaves his spot. Now resets. Creating something out of nothing, but it's incomplete. And so Colorado will have to punt it away, down 10.
Both these defenses, an awesome start to the first half. Colorado shutting down West Virginia in the first drive. West Virginia creating a turnover. Colorado responds with one of their own. It's been a back and forth defensive effort from both of these units that maybe came in hearing a lot about the young quarterbacks and everything that they were going to do and took that personally.
It's reminiscent of how this game started before, like you said, West Virginia was able to crack it open with that block punt out the back of the end zone for the first two points of this game. This time able to get a helicopter punt away to Fox. In the afternoon sky, he fields it and fights forward for a yard or two on the return. A defensive slugfest here in the 3rd quarter in Morgantown. Big 12 football on TNT Sports is presented by Allstate. You're in good hands. We're not the only ones enjoying ref cam today.
Anytime you have a guy mic'd up, college or the NFL, ooh, big smooth.
He's wearing a wire.
Good. Pressure in his face as he heaves another interception. Scotty Fox Jr. to John Slaughter, the sophomore safety. And the Buffs are teed up on a short field.
Yet again, the pressure from this defensive front for Colorado making good things happen. And Scotty Fox Jr. had no turnovers in his 3 starts, a huge part of why West Virginia was able to go and start to have some success. And you see right here, great rush by Tafik Bayard. We talked about the boost of getting him back for the second half. Had to sit the first half because of the targeting penalty from last week, and taking away the clear sight line, and another turnover for this West Virginia offense.
Hodge and Slaughter get their first picks on back-to-back throws from Scotty Fox Jr. Now a chance to make this a 1-possession game. For a defense that had given up 105 points combined the last 2 weeks. I know West Virginia offensively is not Utah or Arizona, but this feels like forward progress for the Buffs on that side of the ball. Now can Juju cash it in? Instead of tackle for loss as Jamori Robinson flashes.
You see right there that burst from the former American Athletic Conference Defensive Player of the Year. Both of these quarterbacks going to need to pull 1 or 2 of these zone reads. Both defenses have no respect for the QB run. We've seen West Virginia try and offset that with the jet sweep, but both sides staying disciplined. The quarterbacks are going to have to get more involved in the design run game so that they can create some windows for the running backs.
This is a long run today, 6 yards. A scramble for a first down. Now he's in second down, 13. Kitchen sink coming after him. He throws behind it. He gave Miller a chance, and it's a Buffs touchdown. Amarion Miller over Jordan Scruggs, and the Buffs are within 1 possession on a 23-yard dime.
Amarion Miller is a bad, bad man. This area of the field matched up with Jordan Scruggs, spelling Michael Coates Jr. had been locked up with him all day. Runs past, stacks him, great ball, and uses his body to shield and make the catch for 6.
Watch Mata, just had a long extra point streak snapped. Again, it's slicing off the upright. He banked it in. And that is a massive extra point, having already missed 1. Buffs only down a field goal now.
Maybe after you make that many in a row, you got to make it a little more difficult for yourself, but the degree of difficulty getting higher for West Virginia as Colorado closes to within 3.
In his what is now a 3-point game, the kickers could be critical. Bit of a high snap here, but Alejandro Mata, having missed an extra point earlier, banks this one in off the right upright. He had his streak of 105 consecutive PATs broken. He and Prime go way back. I think the head coach saying, we're going to need you here in crunch time.
Knowing he's got to build this guy up, trying to push all the right buttons right now. And to start the second half, Deion Sanders certainly doing just that.
Cannon puts another one in the air. And how about if you're West Virginia? I think some confidence in Fox. Eroded, lost, rattled, you tell me, because he's thrown back-to-back pickups. Saturday night is all right for a fight. Brace yourself for All Elite Wrestling Collision tonight at 8 on TNT, and now streaming on HBO Max.
I think to settle Scotty Fox Jr. down, you've got to get him involved in the design QB run game. They've tried the jet sweeps to hold the backside. I think he's got to pull a couple of these zone reads. We've seen them run counters up the middle for him on longer downs and distances. I think he's got to pull a couple of these zone reads to keep the defense honest.
Rushed for 65 last week and a win at Houston. Over through the left side, but the momentum building for Tafik Bayard and this Colorado defense.
Trying to go tempo here, a double-edged sword, because you go another quick 3 out, your defense was just on the field.
The motions in the backfield, they swing it his way. Needs blocks. A squeeze through to the 32-yard line. French knocked him off his feet. It's a gain of 5. Got 4 left on third down as you get a look at Livingston. His goal today was to play much better on 1st and 10. It's been a massive issue against the Utes and the Wildcats the last couple of losses. Third down and 3. To get off the grass again. There's a third down completion on the slant. Jeff Weimer. The confidence builder for Fox, a gain of 11.
And that matchup he went to against Teon Parks, defensive back in for DJ McKinney, one of the best defensive backs in the conference and on this team. not available for Colorado today.
Sincere Bowers steps into West Virginia backfield. The match point, he does take it. Stiff onto the edge. Tries the length of his body near midfield. A good first down run. Got through Martavius French for 5.
Great job warding him off there by Bowers in this offense, and all of a sudden they're back on schedule. There it is. QB pulls, trying to shake a safety. And John Slaughter, who just picked him off, was able to wrap up the tackle, but you called for it, and Fox has the field. And I think that goes a long way. They had Grayson Barnes, their tight end, as kind of the police escort for him on that side. And now you saw it right there. The backside end had to stop his feet a little bit. Everyone has to think twice.
Momentum now building for this Mountaineer offense. Knockback from the offensive line as they reset that line of scrimmage, and all their backs have to do is ride the surge for 4.
It's similar to what their defensive coordinator, Zach Alley, talked about with pressure. You've got to give them enough early so they respect it when you bluff. It's the same with the zone read.
5 minutes to go in a fast-moving third. They fake the end-around toss, and it's Fox on the keeper for 3rd down and short nets. Wiggins and Hughes in on the tackle for this Colorado defense. Rodriguez calling his own plays as he always does.
And this is where you alert the potential draw if you're Colorado's defense. 4-down territory, been one of those staples that Robert Livingston, the defensive coordinator, talked about. Almost feels unfair when you've got a guy like Scotty Fox Jr. back there that capable.
Looking to answer the Colorado touchdown. Blitz arrives from the 2nd level. Tight window throw, incomplete. And some extracurriculars between Ivan Yates and Cam Vaughn.
Get another look at this out here. Pressure up front, got to get rid of it. Ball's in a good spot, just a great play by Yates. And then you see at the end here a little bit of a hold.
4th down from empty. Fox able to wiggle through. With Anquin Barnes on his back. Takes a 340-pounder for a ride.
It's the 2nd week in a row. Last week, it turned into a full-blown touchdown run on 4th and about the same distance. Calling for quarterback draw. There's no dropping back to try and sell it. It's immediately put your foot in the ground and go.
Set it up for Fox. To the air. To the sideline.
Crowd here thinking there was a little bit too much contact on that play from Tion Parks. Out here working with the club on that injured left hand too, which can't hold with it. Just saying.
Over 50,000 in attendance today in Pushkar Stadium, Morgantown, West Virginia. The Big 12 program's building for their future at quarterback. About half of what he needed. So a 10-play drive so far, Mike. A good answer after the Colorado touchdown. Not yet in bankable field goal range necessarily, but they could give it a chance if they don't pick up 3rd and 5.
Guys up at the line of scrimmage, all out blitz look could be another spot where you call the number of the run game. Potentially playing for 4 downs. You got little bodies, not by big ones at the line of scrimmage.
12 on 3rd down. Off the ball fake, a heave to the end zone. There is a flag. It's incomplete, but a flag down in coverage.
As intended for Jeff Wiger. There's a flag on the play.
Is this a free 1st down in the secondary for Rich Rodriguez and West Virginia?
Holding. Defense number 3. 10-yard penalty, automatic 1st down.
I jinxed him.
He did highlight it earlier.
Again, both of these double moves, little in and out top side. That hold must have been after that when he was out of frame, because you didn't see it originally on the double move. There was contact, but it didn't look like holding up the defender.
Watch faking the toss and is tackled inside the 15-yard line. Sean Myers, a senior linebacker, rallying for that.
Number 59 is right now, or number 89 for Colorado.
Just stacked and shed. Ryan Ward, the tight end, trying to come across and block him. Been a force in the run game today. We saw him make the play on the attempted reverse before. He's great.
Some 40 seniors from Colorado. And staff feeling like they still have great buy-in. With 2 targets in the area. Jacob Barrick among them looked like the most likely candidate. This is difficult. This is 3rd and 9, but it almost plays like 3rd and goal from outside the 10. They can get a first down inside the 5, but on a short field, CU has the numbers advantage.
Getting some smaller personnel on the field right now. Grayson Barnes back in at tight end. Get another receiver, so they're in 11 personnel, which means Colorado now has the chance to match as well and can play the substitution game.
See the clock gets short there. Will they have to spend a timeout? They will.
First charge timeout, West Virginia.
High leverage moment. You hate to use a timeout on offense in a 3-point game, but I think Rodriguez, knowing that this could dictate the outcome in a big way.
Big time, which is why I think he was hemming and hawing a little bit about what they wanted to do. So you're late getting the personnel on, and then you see the official stand over the ball. Colorado has the right to match, and wisely goes and takes their time getting bodies out there to force him to burn that timeout. Then in a 3-point game feels incredibly valuable later on.
Bucs fans, it's been great to welcome you to TNT Sports and Big 12 football. This week, next week, we'll see again Mountaineers. West Virginia going to Arizona State. Kenny Dillingham and the Sun Devils on a bye this week after winning in Ames last week. 1 p.m. Eastern on TNT, True TV, and HBO Max from the desert. 3rd down and 9 in the red zone. 3-by-2 set. It's more Hubbard in that right slot. Fox from empty. Fox coming after them. They get home. A 3rd down sack for Colorado. Arden Walker in a big spot.
And a great job. You're going to see this guy lurking here before he drops out, buys up the eyes of the right tackle. And so Walker ends up getting the free rush. It's too late before he can peel back out and try and get a piece. And that's part of the difficulty when you've got so many guys up the line of scrimmage, identifying who's most dangerous in protection and making your decisions.
Cade Hensley looking to double the West Virginia lead from 37. At the end of a 14-play, 56-yard drive, West Virginia, they're seeing Colorado get within a field goal, is able to put up 3.
You paid it off with points. You responded after back-to-back drives that ended in turnovers for Scotty Fox Jr., who, like we said, got involved in the ground game in a way that was a little more varied. Some of it designed quarterback runs, some of it part of the read option. Took a couple of shots downfield, but they were safer, right? They were out towards the sideline where you could air that ball over. They end up drawing the pass interference penalty that helps put them down within range. And now their defense has a chance to sort of catch their breath after being handed some bad field position opportunities.
They've got a solve for Juju to Amarion Miller, though. I mean, that looks like the winning combination so far.
It does, and especially it's one thing. When you got Michael Coates Jr., I'm fine letting it ride good on good, but we've seen now when Jordan Scruggs goes in to spell him, you might have to think about putting a safety over the top, having an extra set of eyes on him, because that relationship right now is lucrative for Colorado.
Nate Flower with the boots. Gibson from his 6. Bounces off a hit, trying to stay on his feet, and churning near the 30. Let's go down to Jared.
Guys, Juju Lewis didn't just pop onto the scene. For those in the greater Atlanta area, they've known for quite some time. I spoke to his personal quarterback coach, Ron Beal, who's been working with him since he's been 7 years old. I asked him when he knew he was special. He said at an under 10 tournament back in the day, Lewis made an unbelievable throw, looking off a safety, and threw an absolute seed for a touchdown. People, he said, underestimate the work ethic for Juju Lewis and how serious he is about the game. But Beal told me that he's very competitive and doesn't like to look foolish. He may make the game look easy, but he wants to play the game the right way, fellas.
Thank you, Jared. Leaves the pocket here against a 3-man rush. Exhausting that progression and lives to see 2nd down. He blossomed, he grew into the Georgia Player of the Year last year. Flipped from USC to Colorado and is now the 10th true freshman to start at quarterback in this program's history.
And reclassifying, I mean, could be a senior in high school right now, which I think part of the reason why Deion Sanders wanted to hold off if he possibly could. You had Caden Salter, who's a veteran, coming over. But now, forcing his hand after what you saw late last week against Arizona, paying off for Colorado.
Second down with rushers creeping. Here comes the blitz. Lewis has time to go top shelf and hit a completion to the 30. Joseph Williams already a 9-yard touchdown. This one is good for 42 over the top.
You couldn't hand the ball off to Joseph Williams better than that throw Juju Lewis dropped in the bucket. Unbelievable precision.
Hayden his back. After the chunk play through the air, they rumble below the 20. There is a flag right at the point of attack on that Hayden run.
Holding. Offense number 72. 10-yard penalty. Replay first down.
Chrysler.
Take another look at this pass. Juju Lewis, again, the job he's done. Under pressure, 6 men coming up. The offensive line and running backs do a great job. And then he puts it out right over the shoulder. So the wide receiver, Joseph Williams, can use his body, shield from the defender. Really similar to what we saw from the touchdown pass to Amarian Miller before. That's next level precision from your true freshman quarterback.
He does have the luxury of working with some tall weapons. Miller is 6'2". Williams there 6'2". Sincere Brown at 6'5". So some height and some catch radius in this Deion Sanders receiving corps. With a timeout on the field, Mike, one of the themes that I think we can touch on here with a freshman quarterback for both of these programs is when we go around the Big 12 this year, one of the major talking points has been returning quarterbacks recruiting their targets for next season. And when you see what Prime and Juju could be building here, you could understand why there's still some juice in the portal, in the recruiting cycle in the high school ranks.
And we talked to so many programs where you're right, the quarterback is right in there with the head coach, your recruiting coordinators, everybody else. Because if you're a skill position player coming, you want to know, hey, I play a dependent position. Who's going to be the one directing the offense, getting me the football, and how long am I going to be able to count on him? We've seen programs also go to the portal for quarterback, like Colorado did, but being able to
After
develop,
the holding,
incredible.
in the dead ball period, unsportsmanlike conduct. Defense number 5. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Palms to the sky indeed. Let's see if we can find it for you on Fred Perry. We're told it's for language, nothing visible that we can spot for you. So that more than gets the Buffs right back on track. Looking to capture the lead here for the first time today. Now Lewis has 7 passes for at least 15 yards, 5 for 20 plus. So he's attacking vertically. And his first start as a Buff. That's Traylon Miller in motion at the snap. 4 Mountaineers coming after him. They roll the pocket to his own side. They take 3 on a short completion to the 20.
He does a great job keeping his eyes downfield on all these reps, even when he's got to break out of the pocket, even when there's pressure. Most young quarterbacks, once they see that flash of color in front of them, they're going to drop their eyes. They're going to start to run around and get their bearings. He's been very aware of where all his weapons are in the progression.
Final 30 seconds of the third. Lewis attacks and slides. Mark him down where those hips lowered about the 17-yard line. And Deion says, let's take this to the final frame. After 2 embarrassing losses, Prime said he was well aware of what the issues were and that he would get them fixed. One of the solutions, Julian Lewis, trying to guide a fourth quarter comeback.
The end of the third quarter.
You're watching Big 12 football on TNT Sports, presented by Modelo.
Dominate the dude in front of you. It's on.
Deep drop. Got it. Touchdown. He gave Miller a chance, and it's a Bucs touchdown. They blitz it. And it's sacked. Oh, they got there. It's blocked. He takes the handoff, and he is in.
Just would not be denied. Surging through arm tackles, keeps the feet chopping.
Fox pulls, he flips, and the Mountaineers put it in the paint. Well, both these programs, they're depleted, they're scarred, but they're still fighting behind their freshman quarterbacks here in Week 11. CU in West Virginia. Let's go to the fourth. Raylan Miller the back for Juju Lewis. 4 plays, 53 yards on this possession. Looking for the go-ahead touchdown. 3rd down and 4. Into trouble. Incomplete. Fortunate it was not intercepted as he tried to fit it into Joseph Williams. Michael Coates Jr. in coverage as he has been throughout this afternoon. It's 4th down and the field goal unit is coming on for Colorado.
Trying to throw that through the tight window. I don't think he anticipated Chris Filippo being there. Looked like he was coming on the blitz, thought they caught him with the snap count, and now forcing the field goal try.
It'll be a 35-yard attempt for Alejandro Mata to cut the deficit in half. And his boot is a line drive right through. So now that those points are banked, do you agree with the decision to kick on 4th down?
I think so right there. This is a tightly contested game. Getting 3 on the board. You've got the confidence back in your kicker. And I think from that down and distance after a play that was a brief scare.
I love the ongoing conversation, coach and kicker. You don't see many bonds like that. Some coaches don't even talk to the kicker.
I was going to say, a lot of times they're afraid to say anything to him. You treat it like a pitcher in the middle of a no-hitter when they're going through something like that. Kicking, it's so mental. I give them grief all the time because they're usually down in their own separate field. The physical demand isn't there, but that mental blow of having to be ready for these high-leverage moments, having the confidence of your head coach, I think goes a long way when you have adversity early in this contest.
And look, Warren Sapp's not just kicking down pylons. He's talking to his kicker as well. He's right behind Prime with some words of affirmation.
Love from some gold jackets will go a long way.
So back to a 3-point margin here in the opening seconds of the 4th quarter. This will be a touchback so that we can give you the latest on the pregame pylon story. Mike, break it down for us. There's a lot here.
So we've seen this in recent weeks for Colorado. Warren Sapp, the Hall of Famer, take a pregame stroll around the yard and go and set the tone by kicking down some pylons in each of these end zones. In West Virginia, they've done the advanced scouting. They understand this is part of the experience. So they post someone up at that 3rd and final pylon. And I'm amazed Warren Sapp doesn't go for it, doesn't take the cheese. Deion Sanders always goes and helps put it back together. Great defense from West Virginia. Great offense here to start this drive.
Jacob Barrick with some bumper cars out near the line to gain. Let's give him 10 on a completion from Scotty Fox Jr. It is a 1st down for West Virginia. The stoppage
Previous
here.
play is under review for purposes of reviewing the line to gain.
Let's see if he did get the line to gain. Prime and his buffs with 179 years of NFL experience, either playing, coaching, or covering the league.
That's got to be the guy in the pylon having to go out there and defend Warren Sapp. You know how many people he got past in his NFL career?
He's not a left tackle.
The play has been reviewed.
No, that's for sure.
That the runner was short of the line to gain. The ball be placed at the 24-yard line, 2nd down.
Good expedited review by the crew.
The ball be placed at the 34-yard line.
Might get a coach translator on that one next time we're in studio with Lefko in the game. Just leave it to you. Good crease. Dior Hubbard able to pick up that 1st down that Barrick left behind with a run for 7.
Maybe a ball don't lie follow-up play there for West Virginia. This offensive line, we talked about Colorado stepping up through adversity. This group's got to go and make their impact on the game in this fourth quarter.
At the mesh point, a stumble and a setback.
The way that looked, you're just thrilled the ball is still with your team, because a lot of times on those mesh read plays where the ball's in the belly of the running back, he's not sure if he's going to pull it, we see that hit the deck.
Moving quickly here on 2nd and 11. Down the line, back to Barrett. Came in with 4 catches on the season, has a couple on this drive. This is a critical 3rd down for West Virginia as the momentum has flipped to Colorado. Here comes the blitz. Free runner and a throw complete, but well shy of the line to gain. Dior Hubbard on the catch as Fox knew he was hot off his left side. And able to get 3. It's 4th down, and he's heading to the sideline. West Virginia set up to punt here 2 minutes into the 4th quarter.
As hot as this Colorado offense is, I understand that. You want to make them work the long field. The big plays have been the engine, but you got to give your defense a fighting chance right now, and that potential here just too far out of range to go for it on 4th down.
Oliver Straw sends it away to Quanell Farrakhan with a fair catch above his 10. So you said right decision for Colorado to take the field goal. They get 3, a defensive stop, and now they're hunting the lead in Morgantown. Rich Rodriguez in West Virginia clinging to a 22-19 lead here in the 4th quarter. One of the things he told us this week is that our shortcomings should not prevent West Virginia from playing hard every rep. For more on his competitive nature, here's Jared.
Yeah, you've heard of the hard edge mentality. Well, they've gone back to old school ways here over the last couple of weeks, enduring a long losing streak. Coach Rodriguez instructing his coaching staff not on a Tuesday, a Wednesday, or a Saturday where a guy loafing and doesn't get called out and addressed for doing so. How competitive is Coach Rodriguez? Well, he said he doesn't like to be around people in a non-competitive, who are non-competitive in a sports environment. In fact, he said, guys, he gave his wife not 1 but 2 concussions recently while playing pickleball. Guys, it was match point, of course, and they were by the kitchen, and he bumped her. If we're going to keep score, he said, don't you want to win?
Well, from the pickleball court with his spouse to now on game day with his Mountaineers, looking to stack wins for the first time this season.
Tight quarters in the kitchen. You've always got to be careful. Glad the missus is okay.
2nd down and 10. Juju able to keep it alive and find a receiver up to the 20-yard line. Marion Miller there. Looked like a couple opportunities for a holding flag, but I do not see any laundry. It's a clean rep by CU. And 3rd down upcoming.
Been a few of those today. If that's how they're going to call it, then you have to adjust his players down on the field. Juju Lewis adjusting, keeping the ball in play, 3rd manageable.
To the right side. And through to the 25. Dallin Hayden picks up the 1st down.
The poise in the pocket been a story all day for Juju. Here's that 2nd down, and you see the pressure from Fred Perry coming up the field right there. And able to get up, work his way out through that seam to the right side and move the chains.
Down 3 with a new 1st down. Can't find a target. Now he's going down. Had to eat it back at the 15-yard line. Devin Grant, a senior, with a sack, -10.
And this all because of some miscommunication among the wide receivers over on the left side of this formation. You saw Juju patting the ball, because over here you're going to see multiple guys in the same area bunched up in the same spot, and so you've got all those West Virginia defenders clouding the picture for the freshman quarterback.
Fifth sack of Juju Lewis for the Mountaineers today. In a known passing situation on 2nd and 20. They hit the quarterback again, but this play's dead. Whistle from the opposite side of the field, and a flag down just a few yards in front of the line of scrimmage.
Prior to the play, false start, offense number 4. 5-yard penalty, replay 2nd down.
That's Miller out on the perimeter.
Remains 2nd down.
Miller, one of the big play sources all day. That connection with him and Julian Lewis growing. And the Siege getting a little antsy there. Ever so much.
6 catches, 130 yards, the touchdown, but he backs his offense up even farther. 2nd down and forever. And Miller's got nowhere to go.
Jason Chambers that time. We've talked about the tackling from the defensive back group for West Virginia all day. Discipline, maintaining outside leverage. And now 3rd and a mile, we saw the mistakes from Scotty Fox Jr. turning the football over. It's the last thing you can afford, backed up in your own end. Let's see if they even let Juju put the ball in the air, even after all the good he's done today, with the change this far out of whack.
It's a no-foul situation for this West Virginia defense. Lewis will get to air it out. He's one to midfield, and the Buffs win it. No, they don't. It's out of bounds. Sincere Brown won that one-on-one battle with some separation.
Yeah, and I think separation that drew the flag on this play. He got a pretty tough push-off at the end of that play that I think they're going to call the flag on.
And he stands 6'5", so the right target and a difficult spot for Lewis.
Pass interference, offense number 9. Got penalties decline. Result of play, 4th down.
Declined because in addition to it being a foul, they say he was out of bounds. Incomplete.
Yep, so you take a look at the top end of the route here. Shrugging him off, but that left foot clearly out of bounds. And the more we look at it, it seemed like both of them hand fighting a lot in that route, but just a little bit too demonstrative with the pull on the jersey there. And so the punt coming up to Colorado,
which is in a very similar spot to the one that was blocked for the first points of this game. He's hustling to get it away. Preston Fox. The gray sky here in Morgantown. He takes a fair catch on top of his 40-yard line with the Mountaineers still in front, 22-19. As they got a handful of sacks on Lewis today. Deion Sanders and Colorado have played the nation's 2nd toughest schedule. Only Florida's opponents have a better winning percentage. Here's their upcoming slate. What's left, presented by Modelo.
Bowl eligibility still on the line. 3 opportunities, including today. Both these teams, really, as we take a look at West Virginia's upcoming schedule now, too. A much tougher road to go, knowing you've got number 8 Texas Tech looming in that final game. But either way, you can only keep it alive with a win today.
A bye week built into each of their months of November. Fox back at the switch. Nice cut to his left. And he moves into Colorado territory with the ball, with the lead, and now a 1st down.
And getting up with some swagger. I love to see that both of these freshmen not leaking confidence as this game gets tight late. A couple of turnovers from Scotty Fox Jr., but showing you the kind of wheels that got in the end zone not once but twice last week.
Beautiful look down the field here with the Mountaineers in plus territory. Going to take this back to a 2-possession advantage as they spill Sincere Bowers over the right side. With Bowers and Hubbard in the backfield today, as it has been for much of the second half of this schedule. Four-minute mode here, meaning are you shortening the game here for Rich Rodriguez?
No, I think you're worried about trying to get in the end zone here, and part of that's going to have to come with a big play yet again. They tried in the last drive, but were fruitless. Cam Vaughn, we haven't called his number in a while. He's outside all the way to the left of this formation, and there's man coverage across the board right now.
So when you see them take the play clock down to single digits, they do here in a good decision by Fox. If he had given that to Vaughn, he might have lost his cleats out on that edge.
We've seen more than a few West Virginia wide receivers on those jet motion handoffs be on the wrong end of the collision. Staying on schedule, 4-down territory like it's been during this period of the field, this area of the field, for a lot of today for West Virginia.
That being said, the CU defense has put a few dents in Scotty Fox Jr. Less than 100% as he takes this next rep, and he'll let his tailback do the work. D.R. Hubbard barging downhill to the 26 with a 1st down through Preston Hodge. Now Hubbard's coming off.
Takes a helmet to his thigh there, but you go back, Scotty Fox putting his foot in the ground and taking that shot there. Hubbard coming up a little sore after this last one, but you see the respect for the quarterback run there. Defender coming back across the formation, trying to stick with the quarterback and honor it there, opens up a seam.
Fox gives. Sincere Bowers bouncing off a hit. 9 more as the running game of West Virginia starts to lean on the Buffs, and the clock is moving quickly if you're a Colorado fan.
I think if you're Robert Livingston, you got to start sending these linebackers again. Their feet are stammering in the backfield. They're not playing fast and downhill anymore, and the missed tackles are showing up because of it.
Second in and only 2. That'll move the chains. Bowers, the sophomore, for a new set of downs at the 14-yard line. Arden Walker wrapped him up.
This West Virginia offensive line starting to show off. Big Nick Cray on the backside, number 52, washing down the left side of that defensive line for Colorado as they get some fresh bodies on the field.
Completely overhauled offensive line here in Morgantown with the change of coaching staff. Their top 9 from last year gone. Doing the dirty work in front of Fox and this rushing attack. 7th play of the drive. It's lasting more than 3 minutes. Bowers riding the surge, and he gets a nice ovation from Pushkar Stadium.
Steve Slayton talked about it with Jared before, being the best condition team. That's part of being a tempo team. When Brian Kelly first got to Notre Dame, we were a tempo offense, and the training camp was brutal. And then you got to game action, and everything slowed down, and all of a sudden you saw defenders, hands on their hips, starting to breathe heavy. And I think that's what you're seeing towards the end of this drive, the extra push from West Virginia up front, because this defensive group from Colorado has been challenged by that tempo in this rushing attack all day.
And they take the play clock to single digits. It's hard for that snap. Sincere Bowers. Not this time. Can Colorado hold West Virginia to a field goal try, or maybe even get a red zone takeaway? Give Lewis a chance to go get a winning touchdown in crunch time.
And I think because of the time left on the clock, this is 4-down territory to me. You kick a field goal, you're still only up 1 possession, and you incentivize aggression. You're up 6. Going for that touchdown is all they've got as the time winds down. I think you've got 2 downs to get to the 4 here, knowing you get a first down inside the 5-yard line.
Through that 6-point lead, known as the trickiest in college football. Jones is back. Was it enough? Flipping sides of the football, he's already punched one in. They're waiting on the spot and the signal. It's 4th down. Fist in the air for 4th down, not by much. And again, that yellow line is unofficial.
I'm surprised they're not taking a look at this. It looks pretty close. And they actually changed that up and give him the first down on that. So it's now 1st and goal after an additional look by the officiating crew.
Like I said, the yellow line never lies. Jones stays in. Offset right. Fox feeds him, turning the feet. He's back in with his 2nd rushing touchdown to make it a 2-score lead.
And West Virginia's fired up, but I saw an exhausted Donovan Haslam walking over and getting ready for the extra point. A long drive and sort of pay that off with 6 the way they did. Once again, going back to your secret weapon, the bandit turned back Curtis Jones Jr. punching it in from the doorstep.
Hensley, a right-footed swing to make it a 10-point lead at home for West Virginia in search of their 4th win. 10 plays, 57 yards in 5.5 minutes. They call on Curtis Jones Jr. to cap it. Well, Mike, in real time, you can feel West Virginia formulating an identity behind Scotty Fox.
You could on the drive that featured nothing but runs. Scotty Fox Jr., your leading rusher today with 58 yards, set the tone. But Dior Hubbard inching his way down here and then finishing it off with back-to-back carries from Curtis Jones Jr. The first for the first down, the next for the touchdown. to make it a 2-possession game for the Mountaineers at home, trying to make it 2 wins in a row.
50,000 plus in attendance today. And we're going to see if their defense can close it out. That's a touchback. The sneak Sincere Brown back there, it looked like, to get a kick return. West Virginia doesn't like it, but it's
Game
Julian
clock
Lewis back to
operator, please
work.
reset the game clock to 4:15.
Just a clock adjustment there. Now he's chasing 10 points.
And we saw in the last drive, I mentioned that 3rd and a mile play where they actually did let Julian Lewis turn the ball loose downfield, try and make a play. Now you pop the governor off this thing. 4:15 left, down 10 points. You got to go. But West Virginia going to be eyeing those big plays. Let's see how aggressive Zach Alley and this defense are willing to be, knowing how successful Juju in this passing attack have been pushing the ball downfield.
The freshman is 17 of 29, as you saw, just shy of 250 passing. Able to find a safety valve in Atkins. That's not good for any yardage, and it's stealing precious seconds. Great insiders who did not talk to the boss in either recruiting process. From Wyoming to West Virginia with 20 friends and family members in attendance in on that tackle. There's a check down. Hayden able to move the chains. There's real voice among those Mountaineers holding him up. First down, Colorado with 3.5 to go.
And West Virginia fine with that. Clock keeps ticking. They're putting a lid on this defense and trying to rally and tackle everything in front of them.
What's coming? Lewis hit. He's swarmed and sacked for the 6th time. Ben Cutter triggered there. It ties a season high in sacks for West Virginia.
And who else but Fred Perry making his way down here, flashing the quarterback, forcing him to the left.
3 minutes ago, 2nd down and long. Lewis slides the long point, now reverses field. Scrambling, 30, 40, and out of bounds. You pointed it out, he will not be sped up. If nothing else, the poise he's put on display today, I think, inspires confidence for Colorado.
Completely agree. No matter the outcome, you've got your quarterback of the future now in Colorado, showing you in his first start exactly why you thought he could be just that.
2 downs to get 5 yards if necessary. Off the play fake. Top of his drop. Searching. Spinning out. Juju Lewis. First down, Colorado. Draylon Miller cruises out of bounds below the 30. Unflappable.
I'm trying to avoid the rampant hyperbole, but the poise that we've seen all day long. 3-man rush, knows he's got time, nothing there initially, so spins to the outside, keeps his eyes downfield the way they've been all day long, and makes a play.
31 yards. And keep the Buffs alive. Oh, he's ripped down. Was it clean? No flags yet. It's another sack for the Mountaineers. This one belongs to Marshawn Oxley.
And I think they're saying he got him by the hair.
2 minutes. Timeout.
Mike, these are the remnants of West Virginia's 7th sack of Julian Lewis.
You're going to see here reaching out and getting him by the locks coming out of the back of the helmet. Completely legal. I'm sure very painful. And the 7th sack of the day for Zach Alley's defense. Incredible.
2 minutes ago, 2nd down, 19. Lewis bounces. Extending plays for all 4 quarters of this contest. He finds Atkins late at the sideline. And now comes down to 4th down. Beg your pardon, 3rd down. 3rd down and 9 left.
But like you were leading to, got all 4 downs here. Do or die at this point for the Buffs and their quarterback keeping him in it. Down in and down out.
Blitz from the linebacker level. Picked up initially. Oh, a pass to the perimeter. Miller's got it. And a 1st down. Juju Lewis playing point guard.
I think he's short. I think he came up just short of that. It's going to be 4th down and 1. You see right here, again, the play from Lewis, sneaking out to the side, making an unbelievable play. Just a brutal spot by Jelon Miller. Got to be able to get the first down.
He's looking right at it, too. Runs right over the top of it. Putting this comeback in jeopardy. It is Miller next to Lewis. 4th down, gotta have it. And some redemption there. He and the Buffs can exhale.
Clock stops under 2 minutes while they reset the change, but precious seconds.
Jordan Seaton, the star left tackle there. This ball is dead, or let's see. Fumble announced in stadium. We're waiting for a spot.
Prior to the play is going to be reviewed. The line to gain.
Okay, so before this snap, they're reviewing the 4th down pickup for Colorado.
Boy, bailed him out on that one. One of the most fortunately timed reviews of the day. The call on the field again, 1st down, so they've got to see enough to overturn that. Great look right here. Yellow line here. And I think we saw from that other shot, the knees stayed off the ground long enough. You keep your eye on underneath. It looked like that left knee maybe, but able to keep that off the ground. Butt stays off the ground as well. Well past it where he lands.
So that left knee with the bandage was able to hover off the turf?
From what I just saw, it looked like it absolutely stayed off the ground there. And then we saw the rest of his body landed well past the 1st down marker. So this should be a quick review and a 1st down for Colorado in the red zone.
And so, Mike, they're down 10, so 2 possessions. How critical to score to get this touchdown while preserving all 3 of your timeouts for defense?
Massive. Here's another great look from our camera crew. And keep an eye on that left knee. And you see, just like JB described, hovers above the ground. Same with the right knee. Should be a 1st down. And this is Amari Miller territory.
Yes.
That quick strike and that connection between these two, especially in the red zone. He's still getting one-on-one matchups like we showed in the last play.
So from here, from the red zone, the top of the red zone.
After review, the ruling on the field of the runner making the line to gain is upheld. 1st down, Colorado.
What I heard you say there is you're ready to start attacking the end zone.
Game clock operator,
because
please
if for
restore
some
the
reason
game
you
clock
can't
to
get it, you still need the field goal.
1:43.
Yes, I think so.
1:43.
And I think here you've still got enough room, right? You get down closer. We talk all the time. Those windows start to tighten. You've still got enough runway for your wide receiver to win a one-on-one matchup, stack, and get in position for that ball to come over the top.
Let's see. Lewis is looking for the end zone here. And bailed out of a botched exchange on that shotgun snap. It's a new look at 1st down with Draylon Miller. Good for 1st down yardage on that carry, sitting in his sidecar right. Play fake. Throw to the end zone. It's a jump ball. It's out of bounds. Once again, Sincere Brown with the height to get it done, just can't get his feet in. Jason Chambers in coverage.
Physical matchups on the outside all day long between these wideouts. Chambers doing a great job. He's backing off, zone turn towards the quarterback. Juju standing in the pocket, taking the hit from Jamori Robinson. Fortunate on the follow-through, hand didn't hit the helmet either. We see that penalty called a lot.
This is passed for over 300 yards and 2 touchdowns. Needs another here. Miller. Not much. Not much accomplished there. They'll reset for 3rd down. -3 on that throw to the sideline.
And we've seen on this drive down in the red zone, they've made sure to have safety help over the top. KK Tarnu has been the safety on the field side toward Amari and Miller, even in that one-on-one matchup with Michael Coates Jr.
who is facing the blitz. To the perimeter and out of bounds. Well shy of the line to gain, and so a decision for Colorado here. This looks like offense all the way going.
Yeah, a little surprised by this, considering how far you have to go. It'd be one thing if it's 4th and short and a great opportunity, but you're down 10.
Oh no, and they have to spend a timeout too to get there.
First charge
that
timeout.
could be costly.
Colorado.
That's massive. I don't know if it was indecision on the sideline over what to do, but really costly.
West Virginia looking for a wire-to-wire victory at home today against Colorado. On a block punt, safety, and a touchdown. They start 9-0. Colorado able to get it back to a one-possession game a couple of times. It was a 3-point deficit, and they sent it back to the Mountaineers, who went on a 10-play, all-run touchdown drive to build this 29-19 advantage.
That's the difference. The West Virginia offensive line stepped up, made a big play, and it seems like Alejandro Mata coming out. So that timeout clearly questioning the decision, electing to kick the field goal, which I think was the right move, but should have happened without you having to use one of those 3 timeouts.
With 1:21 to go, down 2 possessions, a 38-yard Mata try, and he got it. Able to swerve it inside that right upright. And so now West Virginia's lead is a touchdown with 76 seconds to go. But having to use a timeout to get there, Mike, how does that change Colorado's strategy here as they're desperate to get the football back one more time?
Yeah, massive. You can only stop the clock 2 more times now because you're south of that 2-minute timeout. Not having that as the backdrop to this completely changes it. So again, the right decision, I think, there, considering how backed up you were to take the 3 points being down 10, but needed to be made. Now there's no margin for error here.
So West Virginia will look to close this out and get their 2nd consecutive win for the first time this season. If they can get possession and pick up a first down before they turn their attention to Tempe next week, we'll be there with them here on TNT Sports. Colorado heading into its bye week next. Looking for any sign of an onside kick here as one potential lever that Colorado could pull.
And West Virginia ready for it up front. And I think that's exactly what you're going to have to get here because of the timeouts now and only 1:16 left. They're going to have to go their best in the must-onside situation right now. Again, having to burn that timeout before the field goal.
Second charge.
Using a timeout to make sure the Mountaineers are prepared. Coming up, it is the Big 12 college football post game presented by Geico. Adam Lefkoe, Champ Bailey, Takeo Spikes, and Victor Cruz. All suited up, ready to go. We got the second part of Champ's interview with Prime still to come after this contest.
We mentioned down though, 1:16 left. So even if you stop it for no gain in the first 2, bang your timeouts right away, you're still talking about getting the ball back in the best case scenario with probably less than 30 seconds in this contest. So you got to sell out here for the onsides and see if you can make a play.
West Virginia, the hands team on. Fox, the deep man. Buck Buchanan, the senior from Longview, Texas, handles the kickoff responsibilities for Colorado. Straight ahead into the pile, and the Mountaineers cover it up. Ben Cutter, the junior linebacker on that hands team. And now the West Virginia Mountaineers are 1:15 away from their 4th victory.
They're going to check on him right now. You wonder if he's took a shot on that play. Going for the scramble kick up the middle. and gets landed on there at the end of the play. I wonder if that's maybe what they're taking a look at. Either way, to be a linebacker on the hands team, you got to be a bad dude. That's usually offensive player territory. And so right in the middle of it, able to make that tough play and field that one.
Prime in Colorado sorely missing that third timeout right here. West Virginia can clinch it. Fox ended last week in Houston in victory formation, trying to do the same here today on his home turf. Hubbard punching through that wide side. The longer he stays on his feet, the better, as long as that ball doesn't come loose.
Second charge timeout, Colorado.
One left for the Buffs. Rich Rodriguez relaying a story in that end of game sequence from Houston and their win over a ranked team where he was coaching his freshman quarterback on every dimension of victory formation, and Scotty's response was,
"Coach, it's not that hard. I got this." And it seems like a little thing, but that kind of confidence and swagger from a guy who's just making his fourth start as a true freshman Mountaineer, it shows you why. He got high praise from everybody. We talked to Zach Alley, the defensive coordinator, said, you know, he's got a chance to try and make this his team going into next year, and as a guy that could be a captain based on the leadership ability, the it factor he's had since he stepped foot on this campus.
There were two troubling interceptions. They came on consecutive throws in this game, but Fox did not flinch. Went right back to work, and he's got his Mountaineers in position to win back-to-back games. They keep it on the ground, of course. Final timeout here from Colorado with 1:01 to go.
Third final charge timeout, Colorado.
Well, he was so proud of the removal, the blocking, not just up front, but on the perimeter, being able to run the rock when everyone in the stadium knew that they were trying to run the rock at Houston. Can they do it again here to cement this victory against Colorado?
And this is a spot where we've talked about the trust Bull staffs have in their quarterback. We've seen the zone read, that RPO at the tight end right in the flat where your quarterback gets on the edge. He's a run threat. He's your leading rusher on the day with 58 yards. And if it's wide open, you dump it off for the easy first down. Too tight diamond, victory kneel, sail the ball away. And if not, he gets tackled and the clock runs. Probably takes them to about 20 seconds.
17 completions, 17 carries for Fox. And the running game clinches it. 29-22. Dior Hubbard shaken up on the first series. Calls game in crunch time.
Cannot say enough about the effort of Dior Hubbard. We're back in the locker room, and we see from the umpire cam, straight up the gut, this West Virginia offensive line got the score to put them up 10 on a drive that featured 10 runs. And now they get to finish it off. Scotty Fox getting real comfortable in victory formation now 2 weeks in a row.
The snap and the knee. And even though they lost to TCU, they played well that day too. So it's a month worth of quality work for Fox and the Mountaineers. And they'll take another win to Tempe next week to challenge Arizona State.
Incredible resilience. You see Rich Rodriguez, Deion Sanders sharing the embrace there. Two quarterbacks that I think both can walk out of this stadium feeling very good about the future of their programs in the hand of two great true freshman signal callers.
Well, they once crossed paths in 2021 with their sons at the switch playing quarterback in that head-to-head matchup. Now on the Big 12 stage with two first-time play callers sharing an embrace before they go their separate ways. Look forward to seeing them for many years to come in Morgantown and in Boulder.
Cannot tell you how impressed I've come away on both sides. Again, there are no moral victories, and I know Deion Sanders in that post-game locker room won't be trying to preach that. But there's got to be a small part of them that's seen what they put on display at quarterback and feel very good about where they're going towards the rest of this season. Forget the redshirt combo. That's your guy.
I mean, despite being sacked 7 times and heated up plenty of other occasions, 22 of 35 for 299 passing, 2 touchdowns, and no interceptions for Juju. Let's go down to Jared one more time.
Well, Mrs. Rodriguez is here, who looks okay after the concussion that Rich Rod gave her a couple of weeks ago. Hey, listen, you talked about a couple